What's up, football fans? What's going on, soccer fans? It is the end of a fantastic month of soccer, football, wherever you are and whatever you call it around the world. We have France, Argentina, World Cup Final today. It should be a good one. It is Messi and Mbappe, but the man really of the hour is the man beside me, and that is Mr. Ian Allen. Welcome in. How are you doing, sir?
Great to be here, Matt. As always, we finally reached the final. Great bit of great straight away off the bat from me. We've reached the final of this World Cup. I think it's been a really enjoyable tournament so far. And as you've just said, we've got a really heavyweight final in terms of two great sides. You've got all the stories going to be about can Messi, one of the greatest players of all time, win this World Cup. But on the flip side, you've got France going for back-to-back World Cup titles, which hasn't happened for I don't know, 50, 60, 70 years, something like that. So it'd be a really, really amazing achievement if they won it as well.
It would. But the question really that I want to know, and I think a lot of people that may not be huge soccer fans or pay attention to Messi, but know the storyline of him not having won a World Cup, if he does not win today, is he still the greatest ever to play?
I mean, it's so difficult to say greatest ever. I mean, is he the greatest ever, even if they win it? Like, you know, there's been some great players in history. I think regardless of whether they win it or not, he's still going to go down as one of the greatest ever players to win the game. I think to play the game. I think if they do win it, I think that does put him certainly in the top three, along with Diego Maradona and Pele. So, you know, whether that makes him the best ever, I don't know. But I mean, he is a phenomenal player to the likes that I don't think we're ever going to see a player like that ever. Well, maybe not again in my lifetime. And the fact that he has come up clutch virtually every single game in this World Cup for Argentina shows you that, you know, you think it's written in the stars that he's going to end up lifting this trophy.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of funny. We talked about this, I think, a couple of weeks ago or last week about who replaces Messi, who replaces Ronaldo, and we couldn't really pinpoint anybody that might be up and coming. So, I mean, Mbappe, Lukaku, those are all good players, but is there a next Messi? Or maybe they're on the training grounds right now in some under 17 camp. You know, who knows?
Maybe, but like Ronaldo and Messi is weird because if you roll the clock back like a year, Messi seemed like the fading star out of the two of them. Ronaldo was still going pretty strong, you know, scoring goals at Manchester United, still looked a pretty big player in one of the biggest leagues in the world, in the Premier League. And now a year's time, Ronaldo seems like a spent force, and Messi's just come roaring back and had a great year. So, I mean, it's difficult to really. You're never going to really find players of that caliber. They're so rare, and to have two that have come along and matched each other year on year and year and year is almost like, you know, something you probably are never going to see again, which is a shame, really.
Sure. So listen, we're going to get to our predictions and talk about this matchup, but I just want to touch on the third place game. Croatia did beat Morocco. It was 2-1. All those goals came in the first half, kind of a boring second half there. So congratulations to Croatia. And that's sort of an accomplishment in back-to-back World Cups, being the runner-up and third place. I mean, nothing should be taken from that team, but you have to think if you're Croatia, I mean, you were right there both times, and you just couldn't get what you needed.
Just going backwards.
Yeah, so far backwards. And I don't know if you saw this, but my father-in-law is from Croatia, born and raised there, and then he moved to the States. He is a huge Croatian supporter. He sent me a video of what Croatia did in the streets. I mean, cars are on fire. It looks like the town's burning down. I had to write him back. I had to say, could you imagine if they won the World Cup? I mean, that's how excited they got over third place.
Isn't it weird how like the joy spills over into rioting? You've seen that I've seen that in US cities as well, with like Philadelphia winning a sports tournament or something like that, and it going a bit nuts.
Yeah, but I have to say that's one thing America does takes from, I think, the European flavor. I've never seen rioting in the streets as much as I see in football and soccer winners. In fact, I actually, France, I haven't seen too many videos of, but Argentina, I'll tell you, if they win this one, it's it's going to be rough there on the streets.
France had a lot of problems with Moroccan fans, actually, because there's so many Moroccans living in France, causing more of the riots than the French people. But there were still a few around. But I mean, what was that? Was it Tennessee beat Alabama? And I saw like they just took the goalposts and like were carrying them down.
They walked out of the stadium with it. They were like, these aren't
cool.
coming back. And you know what's funny?
Oh.
And actually, it's a running joke. The last thing I'll just say on this is they actually started a GoFundMe account so that they could get the goalposts back. But it is the final. Let's talk Argentina. Let's talk France here. Do you see anything? I know the lineups are out. It looks like Argentina is going with a 4-4-2, and it looks like France is with a 4-1-2-3, which is a little different if I'm not mistaken. How do you break down these lineups?
I think that the French one, from what I see, the French one's is 4-2-3-1, which is what they've played the whole tournament. You've got Tchouaméni and Rabiot sitting in front of the back four, and then three in front of that of Mbappe, Griezmann, Dembele, and Giroud up front on his own. They've made two changes. The two players that didn't play in the semi-final, Upamecano and Rabiot, have come back in, replacing Fofana and Konate. Been a lot of illness around in the French camp. So I don't know whether that's going to affect one or two of the players. And also the big news for France was, would Karim Benzema be made available for this game? But he basically came out and categorically said, no, I don't want to. I'm not interested, which is really weird that he would say it. But he's always been that kind of a quirky character. Argentina, same formation. You're right, 4-4-2. But Angel Di Maria comes back in for Paredes. So a lot more of an attacking change. Paredes a lot more of a midfielder. Di Maria will certainly add a lot more quality to Argentina going forward.
Sure. Yeah. And just to talk on Benzema for a second, listen, that was really weird to me. I didn't understand why he came out and said that. They had asked, the coach a few days before or yesterday or something about the same situation. And he kind of didn't even really want to talk about it. But I don't know why you come out and say that, because to me, that kind of is like, so you don't want to help out your fellow nation to maybe win a World Cup because now you're healthy? I don't know. It was just interesting to me.
I don't understand it either. It's very strange. You would think that if you've got the chance and you've got the ability, you've got the option to
come off the bench,
to even come off the bench or even sit on the bench on a World Cup final. I don't know why you wouldn't take it. But as I say, he has. I think there's been times where he's been snubbed by France in the past where they just refused to pick him.
Yeah.
And I think that was the case in the last World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know whether there's a little bit of him being like, well, I don't really care, or what. I don't know. I can't understand it. I'm just spitballing things here.
So the teams are coming out, and this is another reason why I love soccer. You do not see this with American sports. So the time of kickoff is at 10 a.m. Eastern time here in the States on the East Coast, right? And they get it all done. All the hoopla gets done, and the kickoff happens at 10 a.m. Over here with American sports, I can't stand it. If they recognize something, if there's some kind of enshrinement or special presentation, that won't actually start to the time that the game was supposed to start. And then the game actually then will start 15 minutes later. So that is one thing I love about soccer here, is they have all this hoopla before,
And I don't like that. And that really does bug me about American sports. Now, Matt, I don't know if you noticed, did you see that huge World Cup that was on the pitch in the middle there?
I did.
That's the actual trophy. That's not inflatable. That's the actual trophy.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
So they got to get like a big crane up to lift it, and then all the players have got to go underneath it like that.
All right, guys.
Everything's bigger and better in Qatar.
Let's get to our predictions. All start. All right, so I'm going to be completely honest. We do have a future bet on France, so I'd like to cash that ticket. So I'm not going to bet against them. I'm not going to hedge it. It's only 5-1, but it is a nice future bet, and I'd love for that to come home. So if they hoist the trophy, that cashes. Having looked earlier this morning at the possibility of an up-tempo game and the fact that Di Maria has come on for Argentina, I do think they're going to play a little bit faster. And as we've mentioned, they've only got better as this tournament's gone on. And offensively, that means they keep putting up more and more goals. I think that they might come out and they might strike first. But I do think, look at the France side. You got Mbappe, Giroud, Griezmann. You got some good legs there that can put the ball in the net. I think this is going to be up-tempo. I know typically finals don't tend to have a very high-scoring affair, except last year or 4 years ago, it was very high-scoring. And I think we're going to see the same again today. I'm going to take France to win in penalties, but it's going to be 2-2. And so our bet today is over 2.5 goals in the first 90 minutes. I think this ends up going to extra time. I think it ends up going to penalties. And I'm going to take France in the penalties.
Well, I would say most people doing these streams probably want the happy fairy tale ending of Messi winning it. But I'm going to go along with you and be like a miserable party pooper here. And with JD, who is our first commenter, who says he's hungover, but vive la France. I'm going for a French win too. I think France win it in normal time. I'm going to go for a 2-1 France win.
In normal time? Okay. In normal time. Yeah. Opposed to the upside down world time.
Regulation, as you would say.
All right, guys. Hey, that's our prediction. We're both going for France. In the comments, please put your predictions in there. Let us know a scoreline. 1-1, 2-1. Let us know what you think is going to happen in this matchup. We're moments away from kickoff. JD, if it makes you feel better, I'm hungover too, but it's only because the Browns won yesterday, so that would be good. I would actually prefer, JD says he'd prefer regular time. I would prefer regular time, regulation time as well, because I have stuff to do today, and I'm not really sure if I want to stick around for another hour and a half.
Well, especially if we get to extra time, we're going to have to bring out all the repertoire of casual chat, because the game's going to be really dull.
We have not gone over some things like favorite sexual positions, favorite foods. So please, if you don't want to hear those answers, let's get it done in the first 90 minutes.
Well, if you do, you can subscribe to Matt's Patreon.
That's an added bonus that I'm adding in 2023 for sure. JD bet -3 on the Vikings yesterday. He's mentally tired. Yeah, that was a rough game. If you are just joining us and you didn't see that game, the biggest comeback in American football happened yesterday in the regular season. The Vikings were down 33-0, and they ended up winning 39-36.
Wow.
Yeah. And that score was at halftime. What do you think that's the equivalent to, like a 5-0 scoreline in soccer?
Yeah. All right.
It's got to be something like that, right?
Yeah. 4-0. Yes. You've seen a few sides come back from 4-0 down before, but yeah, that would be like a 4-5-0 comeback. Huge.
Didn't we see something in like a second leg of an aggregates Champions League match a couple years ago where it was a pretty massive comeback by like Barcelona or Real Madrid or somebody?
Yeah, Barcelona did it to PSG a few years back.
Yeah, that's right.
But basically Real Madrid last season spent the whole Champions League coming trailing and then coming back really late in games with some astonishing comebacks. But yeah, that is a huge turnaround in that one. I missed all the football, all the NFL yesterday because I barely slept and then went and watched Oxford Sheffield Wednesday and basically just came back and was knackered.
What's up, Razzie? Welcome on in. He had the Bills Vikings parlay too. That was stressful. It sure was. Razzie thinks France is going to take this one, but hope Messi kind of gets a trophy. And that's kind of something we talked about, Ian, is we wouldn't mind. I mean, if France loses, it doesn't catch the bet that I have, but we wouldn't mind if Messi ends up here with a trophy.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a great story, isn't it? I mean, and again, he deserves it for he deserves it in terms of how he's played in this World Cup and for his career. I don't know. I kind of would quite like to see it not happen.
All right. Well, hey, we are underway here. The champagne's on ice, and we're 90 or more minutes away from crowning a champion. Thanks for coming in, guys. Make sure you put your score prediction in and go head on over. I put on the screen there at Ian OUFC. Go subscribe to his page for sure. He does everything soccer and specializes in League One, Oxford United there, which had a barn burner 0-0 draw. We won't talk too much League One, but I'm just going to say Wycombe beat Ipswich yesterday.
They did. That was a very good result. And if you love tie games, you'll love Oxford United.
All right.
So the game has started, but not much has happened in the first minute or so of this one, as you'd expect. It's Argentina just slow in possession. But I don't know if this is. I know this has happened in like American sports, and it must happen with like the best players. But the one thing I hate is like Messi's great, but they overdo every single thing that he does. He plays like a basic 5-yard pass, and they're like, "Oh, the vision is extraordinary." Like I do sometimes think it gets a little bit much.
Yeah. No, I would agree. And you know what else I kind of don't like is if you watch him without the ball, when the defensive players like kind of right now, ooh, dangerous pass back, by the way. But if you watch him, he rarely jumps into the play. Now he's kind of chasing a little bit, but for the most part, I just see him walking around waiting for the ball. You know, he doesn't come across. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of that star kid on my soccer team who just thought he was the best player in the world, and he wasn't going to run unless he needed to.
Argentina with an early cross from Di Maria. It's come out to the edge of the box. Messi's trying to recycle possession with the paw. Chipped over to Alvarez. First shot on target for Argentina, but it was Alvarez very off balance, being kind of wrestled to the ground by Upamecano. I think he was offside anyway, so... But first kind of attacking threat for Argentina. But I agree, yeah. I mean, you'll see that with Messi, and if any other player does it, they'd be criticised. But Messi does it, and they're just like, they kind of laugh it off as saying that he likes to walk around as if, and then he engages in the play when he's ready to engage. It's like him. They give him a pass.
I love the comment by Razzie. He says, like watching F1, the announcers freak out anytime Hamilton so as much farts.
Hey, Lewis Hamilton's British, so he deserves it. But but I agree. That is like that too, and but like Messi will score a penalty and they'll like say it's the best penalty of all time. I wouldn't be surprised if like a Messi penalty wins like goal of the World Cup.
Yeah. Speaking of penalties, we were talking off air, and I'd love to get everybody's opinion in the chat on this. What do you guys think about making a rule where the penalty taker has to be the person who gets fouled instead of allowing, somebody to get fouled in the box, there's a penalty, and then letting Messi come in and do it? What do you guys think about like a rule like that worldwide? I in particular would love to see that. I think it would add another dynamic to the game. In fact, in basketball, they do that hack-a-shack where they put Shaq on the free throw line. I mean, I guess if, who wants to give a penalty away? But if you're going to give a penalty, make sure it's against one of the weaker kickers.
Yeah, so I just before I talk about that, so Argentina, again, they've started this game more on the front foot than France for sure. And they do get a little bit of joy, again, down that left-hand side with Di Maria. But France have won the ball back and they're trying to go forward, although that's a shocking pass out. And Argentina have won the ball back in a really dangerous area. Long raking ball out to the wide left again for Di Maria, but that's not a good ball, and France win it back. And although Griezmann's giving it away now, and Argentina with a shot on the edge of the box. That is the first shot on target. It is from Alexis McAllister, I believe, of Brighton. And again, it was nicely recycled by Argentina, but long-range effort, but straight down the throat of Lloris. It's an easy catch for him. But France are a bit all over the place in the first 5 minutes of this game. It's been pretty much all Argentina so far.
Yeah, they do look like they are the more aggressor here right off the bat.
Yeah. A couple of sloppy passes in there from France. Not good, especially one from Griezmann. Which you wouldn't expect from him. But yeah, I like that rule. I would be all for that rule if they brought it in. I thought that would really add a nice little dynamic to soccer. If you got the guy who wins the penalties has to take the penalty. For sure. And everybody in the chat agrees, Razzie, barring injury, yeah, for sure. And JD says, I swear if Argentina gets awarded a BS penalty in this game, it feels like Argentina's had a penalty in almost every game, doesn't it? I think they have. I think they've had like 5. They've at least had 5, I think. Or
really?
No, maybe not that many, but they've had 4, I think.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I do feel like there's been an uptick of penalties in this World Cup, but maybe maybe that just seems like it's oversaturated only because, we look at this tournament in just a monthly basis rather than on a full year. So.
And that annoys me, Matt, because England didn't get one. Not one. They didn't
I
even
don't
get
think
one
the
in the
US
whole
had one
tournament.
either. I don't think US had one.
England didn't get one.
Nobody
penalty.
cares about England. Andy says, bunch of hacks flopping in the box. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And guys, welcome on in. I see a lot of new people coming in. Smash that like button if you could. Let's go. Poor Harry.
I'm taking it. I can see there's a lot of this must be a very American heavy or American sports fans heavy chat. Football players are as tough, if not more tough, than American footballers, and I'm not going to hear anything about anything other than that.
Okay,
they are real men out there.
Get out of here. I'll tell you right now, the hardest working people ever, or the best athletes, are the most toughest hockey players, in my opinion. I mean, those guys will get hit. All their teeth will fall out. They'll go stop the bleeding and come back, and they'll be like, okay, I'm good to go.
Well, I'm going for cricket, but we'll have to agree to disagree on that. Cricket. Still, we haven't seen anything from France now. They've been reduced to kind of pumping long balls forward, but that's a lovely ball through for Argentina. Got a bit of an overload here. They should be able to work this into a chance. Again, they go out to Di Maria. He's seen a lot of the ball in this first, not even 10 minutes of the game. But France have been able to get bodies back. We'll see if Argentina can fashion a chance. But they look like they give it away to Griezmann. But again, that's broken to Argentina. Di Maria works away into the penalty area, gets it across. And then a deflected shot goes just wide. I think that was from Alexis McAllister again. No, it was from DePaul, who's picked up the ball on the edge of the box. And he was in a bit of space. And they sort of backed off him. And he was able to get his shot away. And I think it just, Varane sticks out a leg. And it goes behind for a corner. I don't know if you've gone for corners, Matt. But we've got our first one of the game.
I have PTSD from the last two. I couldn't do it on this one. I thought about it, but was that a shot or was that he trying to pass that?
I think it was a shot. I don't think it was a great shot, but I think it was a shot on goal. But Messi over this corner. So this is going to be the greatest corner ever. Oh, what a corner! I've never seen a better one. But it does come back out to Messi, who's got another chance to get across in. He's one-on-one with Griezmann. Griezmann does a good tackle on him, so it goes back out. Cross from deep. France are doing a really dodgy job of clearing that. That's really clumsy defending by France, and this ball is still not clear. And I think in the end, the referee gives a really soft free kick. I think for a push on Hugo Lloris, the French goalkeeper, but that was not great defending from France again. They basically just all stood there and watched while the ball was kind of like bouncing up in the air in their penalty area. In there, I'm not sure why the goalie hasn't come to claim that, but they get away with it and they get a free kick. But not a good start. When you see the replay of that, it's really, really weird why they've given a free kick. But not a good start from France. It's been all Argentina for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, it sure has. JD wants to know who wins the golden ball.
Who do you think, JD? Who do you bloody think they're going to give it to? I'll tell you what, it will be someone from this final, and I imagine it will go down to whoever wins it. And if it wins it, if Argentina win it, they're going to give it to Messi, and if France win it, they're probably going to give it to Griezmann.
By the way, I really think the French goalkeeper is milking this. Like, I understand the foul. The Argentinian player there does kind of purposely elbow him. Fine, you want to call a foul there? But if you watch him, and we just talked about soccer players not being very tough. I mean, he goes down. watch the delayed reaction. He goes down, and he stands there. He looks to see where the ball goes, and then he's like, oh no. And he goes, oh. And now he's still down? Come on, man.
No.
Come on.
It's these are the sort of things you see every single week, and then the player will get back up after 5 minutes, be absolutely fine, and all like the crowd will start shouting like, "It's a miracle! It's a miracle!"
Razzie said he took Argentina to qualify or to win on a live bet. You're too caught up in the storyline not to be on it. Liking Argentina's aggression so far, they have, I do think this is the scary thing, though, Ian. The last 2 games, if I'm not mistaken, Mbappe has only had 1 shot. Is that correct?
He's not been very good. I mean, he kind of was involved in both the French goals against Morocco without actually assisting them. But I don't think he was very good against England, and I don't think he was very good in the game against Morocco either. So he's had 2 kind of flat performances. He's not. I wouldn't say he's been France's best player, as France do nearly win the ball back up high. I think Griezmann's been their best player.
But what is crazy about that is scary. Mbappe has only had 1 shot in the last 2 games, and France has continued to move on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of scary. That's like saying, in terms of American sports, that's like saying Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs has thrown no touchdowns, but the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. I'll get Argentina just coming forward again. It's again Messi gets the ball, plays a lovely ball out to Di Maria, who's seen so much of the ball so far. Play back inside, nearly finds Messi in the penalty area. A good bit of defending. I think that was by Tuameni, I think. And then France has struggled to clear the ball again. I think they've got another free kick though, so they'll be able to get out of danger. I think it might be for handball against Alvarez. It is for handball, but well, I think that just shows the strength of the French team. They are clearly not a one-man team. He gets a lot of the focus, and rightly so, because he's such a great player, but they are a quality side, and to think they've got 5 or 6 of their first team players out as well of this World Cup shows you how much strength in depth this French national side has. They really are, without a doubt, one of the top 2 sides in world football, and have been for a number of years.
Who would you say on the French team is probably the most underrated player for the fair weather fan? That I mean, you look at the lineups and you see Mbappe and Giroud and Griezmann. Yeah, we all know those names and how they are, but who do you think's probably most underrated on their squad?
Yeah, as France tried to actually, first time we've seen France like knock the ball around on the edge of the penalty area. It was a 1-2 between Rabiot and Mbappe then, but it just overhit, and ex-Oxford United's Emi Martinez can come out and smother it. I personally would actually say I think Olivier Giroud is a little bit underrated as a striker. I think when you put him next to Karim Benzema, I think a lot of people would probably say he's the strongest striker. Sure. But Olivier Giroud I think he's like France's record all-time goal scorer now. But I would, looking at this team, I would probably say, as Argentina come forward again with Di Maria. Sorry, this has come out to Messi with a shooting chance. He's played it inside. It nearly comes through to Di Maria on the overlap. I think that's going to be offside against Di Maria, and it is. But Argentina look really strong going forward there. You think it's only a matter of time before they start getting a few more shooting chances in on goal here. Some really nice play between Di Maria and Messi, just not materialising in a shot on goal. Probably Rabiot in midfield. I think he's been excellent for them. He missed out in the semi-final. Maybe is why France weren't that great against Morocco. I think he's been a real kind of like box-to-box midfield player, good at the back, can link up the play really well going forward as well. So probably him. And for if you're going to ask the same question for Argentina,
I think Di Maria, to be honest with you.
Pardon?
I think Di Maria.
Well, Di Maria is kind of an established player that's been around for a long time. So I'd actually say probably maybe someone a bit more like maybe someone like Molina at fullback, or maybe someone like Alexis McAllister. I think that, because Alexis McAllister he's not really a regular starter for Brighton in the Premier League, but he's coming into this Argentina side and he's played in pretty much every game and been pretty solid. Scored a couple of goals in the win over Poland, and generally it's been pretty good so far.
From a club perspective, will clubs, like, if he's not playing that much at Brighton, do clubs look at these performances and then, is it going to help his career?
For sure, I would say so. There's already been talk that people are looking at him as a potential move. This World Cup might be played in the winter, but you've got a transfer window straight after it, like what happens after a summer World Cup as well. And usually that does inflate the price of players that have good World Cups. So it sometimes does make managers a little bit dubious about picking players that have had good World Cups. But I would say the likes of like a Chelsea or like a Liverpool or maybe, one of the big Spanish clubs might be looking at someone like Alexis McAllister and think they might be able to tempt him away from Brighton and go and play for them for the second half of the season. But Argentina win the ball back again. It's come back to Messi on the edge of the box. It comes back to Di Maria, and it just breaks a horrible bobble in front of him, and it goes miles over the crossbar. But that was, again, Argentina. That must be the third or fourth time they've won the ball back off from France being really sloppy in their defensive half. And this time, it's De Paul who wins the ball back well, gets wide. I thought the cutback was going to go to Messi, but it went back to Di Maria. But unfortunately, he skies it miles over the bar.
And this one is playing out exactly how I figured, a little more up-tempo than most of the games we've seen in this World Cup. And I like it. I like how Argentina's coming out here. I did figure that they would be the more aggressor. They've just continued to look better and better as the games go on. And I mean, when you lose to Saudi Arabia in the first match, basically of the tournament, I mean, you can only go up from there.
Yeah, do you think that's helped them in a way? The fact that they've basically been playing knockout football from game two, like they've had to like be.
Yeah, I do, and I think we talked a little bit about this on Wednesday, a little off air, when we were talking about adversity and when teams have adversity, how that helps them. I do think that people in the regular season or now it doesn't really happen in soccer leagues because there's no playoffs, with the exception of the lower leagues. But like Premier League, there's no whoever's at the top of the table just wins it.
Just going to cut you because France, it's gone out for a throw-in, so it's okay, you can carry on. But France looked like they might have had a good attack there, but it's come to nothing.
Yeah, but just to land the plane, I mean, if you look at like college basketball in America, like the March Madness, that is all just a one and out tournament. You got to win 6 to win the championship, and sometimes there's teams that leading up to that tournament are undefeated, like 33-0, 34-0, something like that, and typically those teams lose in the tournament because if there's a moment in a game where they have adversity that they haven't really faced too much all season, I think it does play a factor. Like, can you, lose, or can you be losing and dig deep to come back?
Yeah, I mean, that is something that's talked about a lot in sport. It's like it's how you bounce back from a defeat. Yeah, and Argentina have certainly used it to their advantage. But France, for the first time, we might see them fashion a chance. They've won a free kick just outside the penalty area on the left-hand side. It's going to be Griezmann who takes it. Really clumsy foul. I think it was by De Paul. And actually, later on in the game, he probably would have got a yellow card for that. But this early on, the referee don't want to rush to this pocket, which is kind of a bit
bad tackle.
But Griezmann with a little chip in. Header from a French player, but I think he's going to give that as a foul. It's Olivier Giroud doing a bit of a swan dive over the top of Argentinian defender. So the referee's given a foul, but it went over the bar anyway. So, but better from France. We've actually seen France come into the game a little bit more in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, they might have just been feeling out Argentina, see how they wanted to play. I think we talked about this on Wednesday as well. Like, do teams sometimes sit back a little and just see maybe how one team's playing? I think France did a little bit here, and it could have cost them early, but I think we'll see a little bit more of an attack.
Yeah, it was a fast start by Argentina and a little too casual from the French. As I say, you just saw them usually they're pretty good with their passing, but you saw 2 or 3 times some really poor passes at just really that you wouldn't expect at this high of a level, really slack passes, giving the ball straight back to Argentina. So they've been kind of like architects of their own downfall, really, invited the pressure on themselves.
Yeah.
But it looks like they've sharpened up a little bit now, and they've got a bit more into the game. But Argentina are the ones controlling more of the possession.
They are, and but what is ironic is statistically, it's 50-50 ball possession actually at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. I just think that the dangerous, but it's 7-2 in dangerous attacks to Argentina. So I think that probably makes it feel like France never has the ball. But yeah, well, they're holding the ball. Now here's some of this, back and forth Spanish, South American soccer that we all love.
But it's working quite nicely. And Argentina have worked the ball again out to Di Maria. Very nice pass in the middle. Di Maria out wide. Absolutely does Koundé. And gets into the penalty area. We might see a penalty. I think we've got a penalty. You won't believe it. We got a penalty.
Again? Are you serious? I can't with this team, man.
Yeah.
All the time.
It's actually fantastic play by Angel Di Maria. Argentina worked the ball out to him so well. And he absolutely... sells a huge dummy to Dembele. Dembele not known for his good defending, and Di Maria just absolutely skins him, takes it round him, and Dembele just comes back with a clumsy foul, brings down Di Maria. It is a penalty. It's a simple decision for the referee to make. And
who's taking it?
Yeah, I wonder who's going to take it. I'm going to list off some names. Romero, Otamendi, Fernandez, Tagliafico,
Otamendi.
None of those guys are going to take it. It's somebody called Messi.
Messi? Oh,
Messi.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
Andy says Di Maria always good to draw a PK.
Yeah, well, he's had a great start to the game.
That's why they brought him in.
Yeah. But
my
experienced
God.
player for an experienced game. But here he is then. Messi.
If he misses this though, I mean, how and they lose this game, he's not the greatest of all time.
I'll tell you what though, Matt, he's not missed it. He sent Hugo Lloris the wrong way. We've got our first goal in the final. It has gone to Argentina. They strike first, and of course, it had to be Lionel Messi.
It did, and it had to be a penalty. And JD's laughing, I know, in the chat because he called this shit. I mean, another penalty to Argentina. And you know what? First off, I'm extremely happy that we did get a goal here early because now I think the over has a real shot at hitting in this one in the 90 minutes. But I have to ask you this question. Is there something, Ian, that you're seeing the Argentina team do that is creating all these penalties? I mean, what is it? Why are teams forced to bring them down in the box?
Well, a lot of the time, I mean, they're very good at like kind of one-on-one situations where they get beyond defenders and they get into little pockets of space in the box. So they're good at like putting defenders on the back foot. So when they have to make like a rash foul, and and they're good at drawing it. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a tactic that they play for, but they're very good at getting like little pockets of space in the box, really, and putting defenders under pressure.
Yeah, and it's you can't really take away from what they're doing and how they're winning. But I will say, I don't personally like. This is why I hate penalties, and this is why I hate shootouts. When it comes to the end of the game, because I think if you want to win a World Cup, if you want to be remembered, then look like some of these teams. Like, remember that German goal to win the World Cup in extra time? I mean, that's how you should win a World Cup.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion.
I mean, yeah, it's nothing you can do. I mean, it's part of the game, isn't it? I mean, it's not Argentina's fault that they're winning all these penalties.
I know.
I know. It's kind of like a bit of a weird.
But
a little bit. It is a little bit cheap to win a World Cup like that, I guess. But it dilutes it. They shouldn't be punished for France's bad play. You know, it's France who are the ones who've made the mistake here. But I do get your point. You would like it to be more goals than just Argentina win it 1-0 on a penalty.
Well, it's the same. It kind of has the same argument to me, and I use the word dilute because when we talked before, many times about the path again for Argentina to even get here, it does feel diluted in itself. I mean, they played Australia, then they played the Netherlands, then they didn't have to play Brazil. And now and each time they're getting penalties. I mean, it just seems like somebody, if there was a conspiracy theorist out there somewhere, is sitting in a truck somewhere and says, you know what, Messi's done a lot for the game. Let him just hoist the trophy and go riding into the sunset.
But now it's France's opportunity to win the ball back high, and they break on Argentina, and Giroud is fouled pretty badly by Romero. and he's got defender's gone through the back of him, and Giroud's gone down. And again, that should be a yellow card. I don't know why it's not. But France have got a free kick about 30 yards out.
Was a yellow given for the penalty?
Don't think so.
Okay, I thought that was a given for every penalty.
I don't think it was that bad of a. They used to be, I think, but they've kind of changed the rules on like giving too many cards or red cards away when penalties are given, just because it's like the penalty they say is like punishment enough.
Razzie has a good comment here. Perhaps that's why hockey or football on ice introduced a sort of temporary red card with power plays instead of having some kind of penalty shot. It would be interesting if a football league did introduce something like that in place, temporary remove one man for 5 minutes or something. I love that idea. And actually, Razzie, I'm a big fan. A lot of people aren't. And I'm sure Ian doesn't even know what this is, but I'm a huge fan of the indoor soccer league in America where they do that. They have penalty minutes. It's just like hockey. They take somebody off and it's a power play advantage for 2 minutes. I think that is a fantastic idea. I think somebody from FIFA should be watching this live stream and take that immediately, implement it into the second half.
Yeah, we're going to have a stoppage in play here. Just for Messi's gone down injured, so the world stopped for a moment. Although they're acting like it's a really, really like bad one, but both of them are back on their feet, and I think they're okay. Well, we don't know. There is indoor soccer leagues over here as well, and yeah, they do a similar thing there where it's kind of like a penalty period where somebody gets you lose a man for 2 minutes or something like that. So yeah, they've talked about it. It's something they've talked about in soccer. They've talked about the idea of like how to eliminate time wasting, and is it better to do have sin bin type things where somebody, because they do that in like rugby where somebody goes off for like 5 minutes or something like that. And I think it's something that's worth trialing. I wouldn't be against it at all. I always think there's got to be ways to. There's people that hate any rule change. I'm not sure if that's the same in NFL or any American sports. There's people that just can't stand any slight change. But I always like to see. I'd always be open to changes that might make the game better.
But here, okay, so in America, what we do, Ian, is we test those changes out at lower levels. I mean, do they do anything like that where you're sitting at like the League 2 level and they do want to implement a new change and that's where it starts just to test it?
Not normally. Messi's come forward on the right-hand side and won an Argentina corner. There we go. So it's their second corner of the game. But no, not really. If it's brought in, they kind of generally bring it in across the board and trial it across the board.
Yeah,
probably a smart way of doing it. It's a better way of doing it. Again, as I say, that does seem better to do it at lower levels and then phase it up. But they don't think like that. Good ball in to the near post. Good defending by France, but it has come back out to Messi, but it looks like he's kicked it out of play. So it looks like there's a free kick.
Yeah, as Razzie's talking about, yeah, they do that in baseball a lot because baseball fans hate changes for sure. But yeah, I don't know. There's hey, listen, we could talk for hours about rules that we would love to be implemented in soccer, but it is the game that we have. And it is 1-0. I did see that ball. That was a nice ball to the near post there.
In a lot of other sports, like in the two other sports that are big in the UK, in rugby and cricket, they usually are quite more flexible with like rule changes and bringing in changes to the game. But in football and soccer, they just seem to be dead against any sort of little, even the minuscule little changes that they made. It seemed to be criticised. Argentina flooding forward again. Again, the ball out to Di Maria. Some really nice play in the middle of the pitch between obviously Lionel Messi and between Fernandez as well. Di Maria's cross was overhit on this occasion and goes out of play. But again, Argentina look like they're causing this French back line all sorts of problems.
Yeah, and early on, do you see anything that you might want to change at halftime, or anybody you think maybe on the bench right now needs to come in?
At the moment, I would say France are going to leave it as it is, but they're really just losing this. They're losing this midfield battle. at the Tchouaméni and Rabiot in there are just getting completely just seem to be lost against this Argentinian midfield, and it just means that like Messi is able to pick up the space in midfield so easily, and then he's able to get the ball out wide, mainly to Di Maria. So France might need to look to maybe, at the moment, I would say the weak link looks to be Dembele, who gave away the penalty in this French side, and you may need to bring someone on like Kingsley Coman in midfield. But again, Argentina, so much space in midfield. Messi's just seemed to get so much time on the ball. He turns away from Griezmann. Again, he's looking out left to Di Maria. I don't think Di Maria is going to be able to keep that in. And he has. He has, and he's kept that in really well, and he's got the ball back out into midfield. It comes out wide. Again, it's not a great ball, but Argentina do maintain possession. Shooting effort that going to go all the way out for a throw-in from Alexis McAllister. Not a good effort from him. But, maybe from France at the moment. I mean, looking like they could bring in Camavinga. They could bring in Veretout, Kingsley Coman, just to give them a bit more strength in that midfield, because they're really just being outnumbered through the middle of the pitch, really, at the moment. And it's Argentina seem to be able to attack at ease and just get at that French back line all the time.
Yeah, Razzie, good point. Argentina advancing the ball beautifully. They sure are, and they seem to definitely now have amped up the pressure even more. I mean, you would think just by looking at this that Argentina might go up 2-0 before a tie game happens. I'll tell you this, though. I think this is what tells me one team knows where their star player is, and that's Argentina. Because if Mbappe is the best player on France right now, why has he had so little touches? Like, find your best player and let him do some work.
Just really struggling to get the ball to him. And this comes down to how well the Argentinian midfield is working. And those four midfielders. Now, Di Maria is more of a winger, so that's probably why they are targeting him every single time he gets the ball. But the other three in there are pretty much central midfield players. And they're doing a very good job of just crowding out France whenever they have the ball. So they can't get the ball into Griezmann or can't get the ball into Mbappe or Dembele. And it's just meaning that Argentina can just keep getting the ball back to Messi, and he can just keep dictating the play.
Yeah, I get it, but I mean, so it's again, and I hate to always use American sports as reference, but you know, when you have the best player on the field, you try to get him the ball, or you know, and
I couldn't agree more. They got to do something different. They got to try and even be a bit more direct. Just try and get the ball in. Mbappe running in behind. You got Dembele, who's a quick player. Get him, try and run down the flanks. They need to change it up because what they're doing at the moment is certainly not working.
Now, Dembele, again, in the semifinal wasn't impressive, and they ended up taking him off pretty early in that second half, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't think he was that great against England either. So he's just kind of seems to just picked a default 11 because they're the ones that are winning. But I don't think he's been that great. And I don't think he's barely touched the ball in this one. But Argentina just cutting through the middle of this French team. Messi getting the ball very deep, and he's able to just play a beautiful ball out to Di Maria. Of course, it was a beautiful ball. It was Messi. Di Maria inside, but France do shut the door on that one, but it just goes straight back to Fernandez, and he can just start an attack going again. And it's Argentina just controlling this football match at the moment.
This is an interesting kind of tactic that I feel like I'm watching here. It feels to me that France is actually not – they're more concerned about going down 2-0 than they are about scoring.
Yeah.
It seems like they're defensively sitting back a little bit.
I think so. I mean, again, I don't know why. France just don't seem to be able to keep hold of the ball. They don't seem to get the ball. They just don't seem like they look a little bit shell shocked. Like they are. You're right. They are more scared of like going down. But Mbappe, nearly first time they do get the ball to him, he nearly does something special. But Argentina are able to get bodies back and get the ball clear, and then a really poor ball forward. And Argentina might be able to break here. Moving the ball really quickly. Alvarez, beautiful ball into Messi. Messi squares it over to Di Maria. This is going to be 2-0. This is 2-0.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Argentina. What a goal. This is a lethal counter-attack. And as I say, they cut the French open. It was a ball in from Alvarez into Messi. He got the ball over to Di Maria. that is as good a goal as you will likely to see. And this is, have to think, Argentina, one hand on that huge, enormous trophy. I don't know how they're going to lift it.
Oh, that's a beauty touch there, and an unselfish one over to the left-hand side, might I add.
Yeah. Well,
because
I mean, that's the beauty of bringing in a player like Angel Di Maria, is him and Messi have just played together for years and years and years and years and years. And so Messi almost like, was it Messi who gave the ball across to him? I don't think it was it? It was McAllister.
What to who? Di Maria?
I think it might have been Alexis McAllister who played the ball over to Di Maria. So I assumed it was Messi running through the middle, but I don't think it was.
No, I think Messi had that first touch, or maybe not.
I thought that was Alvarez who played the ball in behind.
Hmm.
But just looking up again, I thought it was a guy with like a. I don't think it was Messi at all. It still stands. I mean, Di Maria, such a consistently brilliant player at the top flight in European football for so many years, and has been a first team regular for Argentina for so many years as well. So if it's not going to be Messi, it's quite fitting, really, that the 2 goal scorers have been Messi and him, really.
Well, couple good things right now. We had a big bet on the over 2.5 at plus 124. We got that at plus money, which was fantastic. And we're one away. And you got to think France is going to be somewhat on the attack from here on out. I mean, so you know what? We've talked about this all tournament. So, Ian, let's talk about it one more time. You're down 2-0. There's no tomorrow. You're 53 minutes away from not winning the World Cup. Is now time that you might want to worry and start pushing forward? Or do you think they still sit back and wait for their moment?
Do you know what? I think at this point in the game, I think France are probably going to wait to try and get to halftime, which is crazy, again, as you say. But I just knowing what football managers do, I imagine he's probably just going to hope that they can get to halftime, only 2-0 down, and then make a change. They've got to do something to try and test this Argentinian back line. I think they need to kind of push Mbappe right up the pitch alongside Giroud. I think they need to get Griezmann higher up the pitch as well, and they need to get more solidity in that midfield so they're controlling the game. But they might be in here with a chance. You've got Mbappe, but Argentina are just all over the pitch. They've been better than France today, and they're defending a lot better than France are as well. And they can get the ball out to Messi, who can run forward, but France are able to close that attack out. But France just can't get anything going. They can't get anything going on the ball when Argentina do give them the ball. When you do see that gets into Griezmann, or it gets into like a forward player, Argentina just straight on them, shut the door on that attack and get the ball up the field. France just cannot seem to get any sustained attacks going.
Yeah, but here, my scoreline was 2-2 in PKs, and that still could happen, because let's not forget, was there not a game against the Netherlands where this scoreline was kind of similar, and they gave up 2 goals to the Netherlands late?
In a way, but I don't think Argentina were quite as dominant in any of the game. This has been, again, we talk about how this side's improved through the tournament. This has been the best they've played again. This has been so dominant to do this to a great French side. They've absolutely dominated them.
And yes, we've talked about it. I mean, they've just been building ever since the Saudi Arabia loss. And to your point, I never thought about this, but yeah, they have been playing knockout football soccer here since that loss. And it's kind of amazing how they've just improved. I saw a stat. I don't know if you saw this stat, but they've now outscored their opponents in the World Cup 7-0 in the first half of games. They have not conceded a goal in the first half. That's pretty amazing, right? Yeah. I mean, that's going to win you games.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just having a little think of what France might want to do. I think they need to kind of change. I think they need to kind of what they should do, or my opinion. I think you need to take Dembele off at halftime, and I think you need to maybe bring on Kingsley Coman, play a 4-3-3 or 4-3-1-2, and have Coman, Tchouaméni, and Rabiot midfield, Griezmann in behind Mbappe and Giroud, and just be a lot more direct and try and get the ball up to Giroud and Mbappe, have them hold the ball up and then because at the moment what they're doing, they're just having no joy at all. And they need to kind of change this up a little bit.
So JD has a great comment here. He says this game's kind of a duplicate of that Croatian game. PK that swings the momentum. I'm not sure I agree with that. The PK puts them up 1-0. The 2 sucks. We're going to have a change right now. Who's coming out?
Giroud.
Giroud's coming out and Dembele, right?
Was it 2 changes?
It was. Turam's coming in, and Kolo's coming in. Both of those guys had a huge second half when they were substituted in the semifinal, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't mind those changes.
Yeah, Marcus Thuram's always a good player to bring on. He's almost like a more mobile version of Olivier Giroud. Kolo Muani, he scored, didn't he? His first touch virtually coming on against Morocco. It's a little bit of a surprise one. Not necessarily the change I would have made.
I think you guys stick with the hot foot. Go with the guy that just got you a goal.
Yeah. They needed to change something, and it's better late than never. You're going to lose this World Cup final if you don't change it.
I'm applauding it. I know you said, hey, maybe they wait till halftime, and then a skeptic might say, well, why didn't you wait 4 more minutes? You know what? I love it. We've talked about coaches and teams never going for it and just waiting and not making changes. This guy's like, I don't even give a shit about waiting 4 more minutes. I'm making the change now and see if we can't nick one here before halftime. Now, what they can't do is give up another one before halftime.
Well, they might be giving up another one. Di Maria running one-on-one with a defender again. It bounces off it. It's actually very good defending by France. They do actually able to clear this one for once. But then Argentina snaps straight back into a challenge. But it is behind for a goal kick. Just everything, that intensity is just been there from the start. And that's the main difference, I would say, JD making comparisons to this Croatia game. That's where the difference has been. Argentina have just been, the intensity of it has been right there from the start. Whether that Croatia game was a bit of a slow burner, not much happened, and then all of a sudden Argentina just got a goal out of nothing. Yeah. This one, Argentina have been on the front foot right from minute 1.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the first 30 minutes, everybody in the chat was learning our favorite colors, what stuffed animal we had as a kid. I mean, it wasn't. They waited until about 30 minutes until they started to get going. But you're right, they came out strong here, and we went over right before the game started about the lineups, and you called it. I mean, Di Maria bringing in was going to make it a little bit more aggressive, and we've seen that.
I've seen someone just typed goal in the chat. I hope that you're like miles behind and you've just seen that the second one. But
Private, what's going on, man? Welcome in.
Well, Argentina, I mean, again, this is full credit to Argentina, because one of my criticisms of when England played France was England were slow in that game for the first 15, 20 minutes and really just sat off France. And then they almost allowed France to go 1-0 up before they started playing. Argentina have gone right into them and taken the games to them. Morocco was a little bit of a different one. France took the lead after 5 minutes, so Morocco were kind of always on the back foot in that game. But Argentina have just been like, no, we're just going to come out, take the game to you, and completely throw you off guard.
Well, I mean, we're going to, you know what? I do like the change by the French coach here because, in all honesty, we're going to see at least 5 minutes of extra time in this first half. So, there's going to be time if France wants to get aggressive to maybe nick one. If you guys are just coming in, smash that like button. Private is in the States. Just woke up, turn on the game. Welcome on in, Private. Good to see you, bud.
France have been a bit more aggressive from France in midfield, and they looked like they were going to try and fashion a chance through the middle. But there's so many bodies in there from Argentina all working hard, and they do able to just win the ball back. Messi's able to wriggle free from a challenge. He's able to get the ball out to Molina. Molina brings it forward, but France do win it back, but then it goes out for a throw into Argentina on the halfway line.
Are you surprised Giroud came out? Because I am a little.
Yes, I am actually. I am surprised they took him off. He hasn't done anything.
I get it. Do you know why? But I've argued this all World Cup. Isn't he like the leading scorer ever for France?
He is.
So
I said earlier on, that's what he kind of is still. He is still a bit underrated in terms of like people would always think you've got better options than Giroud. But I don't think he's done. Again, it comes back to saying you are 2-0 down in a World Cup final. There is no second chance. You've got to. Why wait to make a change if you don't think Giroud's playing well? Make the change and take him off. And whilst I said I think he'll wait till half time, I'm glad that he has made those changes sooner rather than later.
well, we do have 7 minutes here. So
Wow.
they're coming on with what about the 12 minutes of play here in the first half at least. But I hate to be this simplistic person, Ian, but I'm gonna be. You're down 2-0, which means you need goals, and Giroud can score a goal. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
He can. I mean, but it's not always about. It's not always about throwing on more and more strikers to try and get you a goal. There is still about the shape and the balance of the team. And Marcus Thuram is probably, yeah, you could have bought them. You could have taken off a different player and put 2 strikers on there. But I just think that kind of, you want to, if you want to sort of like try and keep the balance of the side, the like for like changes is maybe the smart way to go. Like, I can't say I would have made it. I wouldn't have been pulling him, taking Giroud off necessarily, but he hasn't really done anything in the first 40 odd minutes, has he?
All right. Yeah. I mean, well, nobody has on the French side. So, I mean, it's pick your poison. Razzie says that he's going to maybe take a bet 3-1 for the exact score. I don't hate that, Razzie. I will tell you this, and I'm going to look it up right now, but this is, again, do or die or go home. And I know I have taken full game corner bets, but for this, I think looking at the corners in the second half is something. Let me see what it's at right now. Number of corners over 6. I think looking at corners in this game, going over 6 at -125 is something to look at. There's only been 1 or 2, so you only need that's a push really with 4, and you could win it with 5. I think France is going to at some point have to have a flurry of chances if they want to get back in this game. So I do like over 6 corners maybe live as well.
Yeah, nothing going for France in this one. They're trying to work the ball out. And Mbappe does a little step over to try and sell a dummy to the defender, but the ball just runs straight through to the goalkeeper. I mean, France have got to try and hope that Argentina's level dips a little bit as well. Because if Argentina's like just maybe get a bit tired and get a bit leggy, France might be able to come on strong late in this game. Yeah. But at the moment, Argentina are playing the better football, and the work rate of the players has been better as well. So France would need a massive improvement in this game in the second half.
What France needs is they need to call the Saudi Arabia coach, and they need to get him in at halftime and give another great speech against Argentina. That's exactly what needs to happen.
He is French.
That is true.
France I thought France won a free kick, but he's only been given as a throw-in. But they're just all over the pitch. Whenever France get a little pocket of space, an Argentina player comes in and just shuts the door on them, or like wins a tackle or fouls a player. There's no fluidity to France's play at all. Long raking ball forward, but it's easily defended, and Argentina can bring this ball out and try and break. But I think that is well won back by Thuram, but the referee's given a free kick, and Argentina can clear their lines.
It does. France is playing kind of like we were talking about Croatia. It seems like there's no scheme involved. Like you just don't know what they're trying to do right now.
I would agree with that. Yeah, it's very I can't say anymore. Argentina just completely outplayed them. France look really shell shocked, like they don't really know what to do. This is big team talk at halftime. Manager's got a lot of sorting out to do with this French team.
I hope they come out and do something, because as much as Messi winning and whatever, I just want this. a third goal is going to just take the wind out of the sail. I mean, you just can't give up another one.
I know. I mean, if the third goal goes in, it's you hope for the contest. You'd hope France do get a third goal just to kind of make it more interesting. But it's not looking likely. But it's weird to see. I mean, do you think that French manager's going to go in and give a team talk like that Saudi Arabia one, or do you think
No,
he's going to be a bit more measured and?
listen, I get what Saudi Arabia does because they don't have anybody that can step up and capture the room. Probably, I don't know. They might do. I just don't know the team. But I'll tell you this: in American sports, man, if I'm Mbappe, I'm going into that halftime. I'm telling the coach to shut the hell up, and I'm going to tell this team that we got 45 minutes left, and you either ride with me or you're sitting. I mean, so. I think you let your best player say something to the group and have him motivate you because a coach can sit on the sidelines and try to motivate you, but the guy that's sitting shotgun next to you in the car, that's who I want to ride with.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Stereotypically, it's always like they always say, "Oh, the manager needs to give a big team talk at halftime." Like they expect this big like Winston Churchill style speech to rouse everybody, which is the stereotype they use over here. But it's so whenever you listen to sportsmen, it is normally kind of like a manager kind of like keeps quiet, and it is like the players who kind of like step up, and or it is like a manager just comes in and says like one thing or says a couple of quiet little words rather than the big shouting, ranting, and raving team talk.
Yeah. Brentley says, I think Ronaldo is better. I mean, to each their own. I mean, it's, and I assume you're talking about Messi, but yeah, I mean, it's been an argument for years.
It's funny why you have to fall into one camp. Like, why can't you just like both of them? They're both great. They've both been great. Messi's playing better than Ronaldo is at the moment. But who knows? Maybe Ronaldo will come back and have another swan song next year. We've reached halftime.
We have
Argentina.
We have reached halftime, guys. It's 2-0 Argentina, France. Hopefully we'll get an exciting second half. I'm gonna roll on the over on the corners at 6. You can get it at even money right now. You just need 4 more to push. So I think rolling on over 6 corners is a good possibility here with the no tomorrow. But we're gonna take a break as we always do at halftime. Billy, what's up? Just drop it in. Huge like, thank you. Appreciate it, Billy. We're gonna take a break at halftime. We'll be back for the start of the second half, and hopefully an exciting one at that. See you soon.
Wow. Well, what a final.
What a final so far, and it's going exactly how Messi wants it to, and FIFA.
Got a couple of things. Brentley in the chat has asked, how many games is in the World Cup? Well, you have to win 7 games to win it. You have to play 7 games to win it. You don't have to win all of them because there's group stages, but you have group stage of 3 games, then last 16, quarterfinal, semi-final, and final. But in terms of the number of games in total, you'll have to
64.
You'll have to win. Is it? Well done.
Yeah, 64 or 65, one of the two. Yeah.
Olivier Giroud, they just shown him slamming his water bottle on the ground. Very angry that he got substituted off. It's a little bit of a football players, soccer players. They don't like that very much when they're substituted before halftime. That's a bit of an insult to a soccer player.
Yeah, I would imagine so, especially for somebody who has his, goals. We have an elf now on screen, and I got to be honest, it suits you, Ian.
I don't want to discriminate against religion. So merry everyone.
I don't know what kind of dancing you're doing, but it's god awful. I thought my wife was a bad dancer. Oh, it's funny.
Bear with me one moment.
We're bearing. Mike in the chat says, need some help here. Do you guys think France scores in the second half? I hope so. I got him over 2.5, Mike. So I could really use one more goal. I'm not sure they do though, man. It's hard to tell. You would think they would, but Argentina's just been playing so good. I'm not really sure if they're guaranteed to score here. So I don't know, man. I have no idea. I can't be a help there. I would say that I hope they do. I would say that they got to make this a game. They're going to come out. They're going to be a little bit more aggressive. They made those changes, at the end of the first half, and they have looked better. So maybe they do.
I'm back. It was a coffee-based emergency. My marriage was on the line there.
What do you think, Ian? You think France scores in the second half?
I hope so. I really do. I hope they come out and really step it up and take the game to Argentina and a bit more crisp and clinical with their passing. They're able to get the ball into their forward players and just make a game of it. Because at the moment, it is very one-sided.
Mike in the chat emailed me a pic of Argentina to lift the cup, Messi to be the first goal scorer, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. And if it hits, he'll cash that ticket. So he just needs France to score.
Well done.
You know what, though? I don't understand why people do these parlays. I have a huge problem with people who do these parlays out here. I took 2.5 units on the over-under of just the goals, and I only have to win one thing. And this could hit it. It's 4 things, not just on Mike, but the generation out here on people putting in, I believe, and I want to get this right, I think it's called accumulators over there in England. But the people that think that they're just going to win money off of, why not just play one? Let's just do one bet. What are you guys thinking with these parlays? I just don't get it.
Over here, there's a lot more betting on accumulators in soccer, mainly because you've got so many games on like a Saturday being played, and people, it's their way of encouraging people to do a lot of people to do small bets.
Makes the game more fun. Oh, come on, Mike.
But the big thing in UK betting that they've been advertising for this season really has been bet builders, where they advertise things like what Mike's done, where you bet on loads of different scenarios happening in the game. That's been a big thing they've been advertising.
Yeah,
but Mike, if you hit that is amazing. And please start doing my my lotto numbers, and that'll help me out. That'll help me out a lot as well.
Yeah, and they're called same game parlays over here. That's what they're called. But yeah, I just don't get it. You know what? You know what I think it's become? It's become this generation with these 20-year-old kids out here who see one person take $5, turn it into $500,000, and they sit there and they're like, "Oh, I can do that." So if you spend $10 10 times and you lose 10 times, why not just spend 100 and see if you can hit one bet? I don't know. And anyways. Argentina and France, second half here. All right, what are we doing? What are we doing, Ian, if you're France? We're coming out. You've had a great speech from somebody, hopefully, in the locker room. And are you going to nick a goal in the second half?
Yeah. Hervé Renard of Saudi Arabia has been flown in to do that speech. And probably all the French players just sat there with their headphones on, not listening to him. Yeah. But I think, as I say, France need to be, regardless of what shape they play, they need to be more intense in just everything they do. They need to match Argentina's intensity, what we saw in the first half. We need to see them kind of be a lot more crisp with their passing. You need to see them get in there and start shutting down the Argentinians, making fouls, winning the ball back in high areas, but mainly more than anything else, getting Mbappe into the game is going to be crucial if France are going to get back into this game. He's looked almost disinterested in this final, which is hard to believe. He's barely got into the game, but they need to find a way of getting him either on the ball or running in behind this Argentinian back four for them to make a difference.
I hope they do. I hope we see something here. I hope France, for Mike's parlay, for the game in general, I hope we can see a goal here by France to make this interesting with 30 minutes or 20 minutes left in the game. Mike asks, were we against pulling Giroud early? He missed that part of the stream. At the time, not really, but the more I thought about it, you need 2 goals. Why not leave a goal scorer in there? Ian, I think you were kind of on the other side. He hasn't played well.
I think we were surprised at maybe the subs came in early just because it doesn't happen very often. So I think we were surprised rather than being against it. I don't think it's a bad choice to make. I think that he hasn't played great and France needed to make a change. But straight away, Argentina could be in for a third goal right at the start of the second half. But Di Maria Alvarez's touch wasn't great, but Argentina are able to keep the play alive. France swarming bodies back. Is it going to be a shot from distance? No, it's played into the area. And Hugo Lloris needed to be on his toes to stop, I think, McAllister from getting on the end of that ball. But that, again, is not a great start for France in the first minute. And then Hugo Lloris rolls the ball out. Wow, this is really sloppy from France. Rolls the ball out. Hernandez lets the ball run under his foot and Argentina have a throw in. And just when you were hoping France would start this second half with a bit of gusto, they've started it in similar fashion to how they started the first half.
Yeah, so whatever speech was given did not resonate with its players. I want to point out something. What happened if you look on the other side of the goal, kind of where France is going? I know we haven't seen that goal that much in the second half already. What's going on with the grass around? It looks like it's muddy on both sides a little bit.
The pitch looks a little bit cut up and worn, doesn't it? It doesn't look a perfect surface that you would expect. It looks a bit heavy, which is weird. I'm noticing that too. But just going back to the Giroud thing as well, it's a little bit unfortunate for Giroud because, again, with strikers and forward players, you can say they haven't played badly, but France weren't able to get him into the game at all. They weren't able to get any service up to him. And he's a guy that needs balls into the box or needs to get balls up to him so he can hold it up. And France didn't do any of that. So there's definitely an argument to say that he was unlucky to be bought off for sure.
Yeah, and again, goals is what you need, but we'll see. They do have. Did we have any subs at halftime there? Did I see anything?
I didn't see, but Mike, what do you think? Do you think it was a good decision or a bad decision?
Yeah, Mike, let us know in the chat. Razzie, Argentina win. Both teams to score. Just need a goal. Just need a goal by France, and we'll see how that plays out. No, there were no subs there. I double checked. No subs made. So they do have some left. What's going on with the with the head of the goalkeeper for Argentina?
I didn't see.
Does he have something? Does he have like Argentina like cut into his hair, or is he
Oh, he
like?
might
Is there a
do.
medical condition?
They probably do, don't they? You know, nothing says that you're patriotic than having the flag.
Well, I'm
carved
not
into
gonna
your
lie, Ian. I may have once had white tips at a certain age, or the blonde tips.
And you've got that, and also you've got that huge tattoo of George Washington on your back, haven't you?
Listen, if the Carolina Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup next before the Pittsburgh Penguins do, I have a bet with my cousin, and I'm gonna have to get a tattoo.
We have nearly seen a wonderful goal from Argentina as well. Again, they won the ball back off France in a good area like they've done all game. Messi with a crossover to the other side of the pitch. I'm not sure who was going on that. I think it might have been De Paul with a good volley, but straight at Di Maria. But France are trying to get forward now. But Griezmann's pass, he had, oh my goodness, he had, who was that in defence for France? He had Koundé in acres of space out wide. He just couldn't get the ball forward to him. He's not been good with his passing as well. Everybody's level's just been off it for France so far. And Argentina, you get the sense, are going to get the third goal in this game. It feels like a matter of time.
So Mike says his first impression was maybe he thought they were throwing in the towel, taking him off.
Really?
He's got a question. Mike wants to know Pogba,
Injured.
why didn't he make it or play this year?
Injured.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Him and Benzema. Now, if you think those two are on the team, is it an easier? I mean, how much does that change? You think both of those guys healthy?
Karim Benzema, obviously, you know, he's been one of the best strikers in the world for the last year, so he would certainly make France more potent in front of goal. But the main ones for France that they've missed have been this midfield pairing of Paul Pogba and Kante. And those two work so well together. I mean, Pogba's just France do actually win the ball up high. Chance for Mbappe to run in behind. It might be a corner to France. It is first corner of the second half, Matt. That'll give you a fist pump, no doubt. But those two work so well together. Kante's got such a great defensive midfield player. He almost screens the whole back four by himself, and it allows Paul Pogba to just get forward and dictate the game further up the field. So those are probably the two main players that France have missed. Also, the Hernandez brother that got injured is a big miss at fullback. So I would say those certainly those two midfielders have been the main ones that they've been missing.
All right, so we've seen a little more aggression here by France in the last couple minutes. Let's see if they can put a strike on goal as Griezmann's going to take the corner.
Well, that corner did get taken and Martinez was able to hold it, and then Argentina were then able to break, and through one or two quite basic passes, they were running at that France back line again. But it's actually some good defending, which annoyingly went out for a throw-in, I think, rather than a corner down by the corner flag.
And this isn't going to be the first time, but I can't stand Martinez going to the ground there. In fact, why take away? You could have just started that counterattack much, much quicker if you don't go to the ground.
I agree, but good news, Matt, is De Paul plays a cross off a French defender, and it is behind for the second corner of this second half.
Nice. So only 2 more corners I need to push, 3 to win, as we took that live over 6 for the game. I knew it was just going to be a little different in this one. Didn't think Argentina would have some corners, but I do like it. That's not a great shot, though. Jay, what's going on? Di Maria is the LeBron James of soccer. All he does is lay down and cry on the floor. By the way, Jay, can I just say, first off, thanks for coming in and commenting. But second off, I hate LeBron James, and I love anybody that comes in the chat and starts bad-mouthing him. So thank you.
I think that's very disrespectful, Jay, to quite clearly the greatest basketball player of all time. A guy that wouldn't even be able to. Who is it? Michael Jordan is not even fit to lace LeBron's boots.
Oh, don't even come in the chat. Don't even talk. No, shut up, Ian. Oh.
Yeah, Di Maria. I mean, Di Maria is a bit. He can be a little bit hot and cold as a player. He's been really good tonight, but there are times where he kind of does very little. Wow, we nearly saw Emi Martinez make a huge whiff of a kick, gets away with it. That could have left France with a real tap-in goal, but everything's running Argentina's way at the moment. But France are still in possession, trying to come forward with Rabiot in midfield, but all he can do is turn back into play, and it's just back to slow build-up play through midfield for France. But that was nearly a huge mistake from the goalkeeper.
Razzie says
loses the ball in midfield, but it breaks out wide. France trying to get a lot of Argentina bodies back, but good ball in behind, but it's snuffed out by Argentina, and they might be able to spring a counter-attack of their own here.
Razzie says you're crossing lines there, my British friend. Although some would agree with you.
I just knew it would wind Matt up if I said it, so that's why I said it.
I know. I hate LeBron James.
I know he's really polarizing figure in terms of like some people love him, some people hate him. Is Brady a bit like that, or is he kind of universally loved?
Who?
Brady.
Tom Brady is. It's kind of the same thing. It's not polarized one way or another. Some people love him. Obviously, most of the Patriots fans, obviously, and I don't know. I think Tom Brady's probably more liked than LeBron James is. To be honest with you,
I would say so. Yeah. I think, I would probably agree with that.
But I would also think that Messi's probably more liked than Ronaldo.
I would agree with that as well.
Yeah. Why is that? Is that because of the attitude for Ronaldo, or just the way he makes a mockery of situations sometimes?
Yeah, you get the feeling that like, although Messi's a star, you do still get the feeling he's like one of the lads. Like you get the feeling like he's just like
he'll have a pint with you.
He doesn't need to be the guy who does all the work. He's happy to just be the team guy. Whereas Ronaldo, he needs to be front center. He needs to be the kind of leading light, or he's not happy with it.
Definitely. And he looks like a guy that if you want to go down to the pub and have a pint with him, he'll probably go down with you. Ronaldo looks like the guy who's like, it's not part of my juice cleanse.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it's.
If you guys are just coming in the chat, have a minute or take a second and hit that like button, Jay. Thanks for stopping in, man. Love the chat. You have a great day as well. Thank you for stopping in. But make sure you hit that like button, guys. It's 2-0 Argentina over France here. There's just about 35 plus stoppage time left. The more we get closer to the 90th minute, the more it looks like Argentina is going to hoist this trophy. Let us know in the chat if you think there's going to be another goal in this game. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it, bud.
Nice bit of play by Koundé. First time we've seen France actually kind of stretch the play a little bit and get down the side of Argentina. And they've kept this ball alive, running into the penalty area. Is that going to go out goes out for a throw into France? But a little bit more intensity from France there. A nice ball. Koundé making a nice run down the side. Argentinian player made a pretty embarrassing tackle, but they did end up snuffing it out in the end. Let's see if France can fashion any sort of a shooting chance from here. No, they go backwards and it goes back to the goalkeeper. My God, France, come on. Get going.
And I love that.
It just seemed like very needless. And what does it happen? They give the ball to Mbappe. He's got 3 players around him. Argentina win the ball back and they're able to start a counter-attack now. Although I think that is going to be a free kick to Argentina on about the halfway line.
Do you see that goal on the French shooting side? How it's really that's a little embarrassing by Qatar there, not being able to have a better pitch for these guys on the final.
Yes, it does. I haven't heard anybody commenting on it because I got the volume down. But yeah, it doesn't look as perfect a playing surface as you'd think.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. It is a bit weird.
Who went down there? I didn't see.
I do wonder. I wonder how much. I wonder. This is great commentary, by the way. But I'm going to say, but Argentina might be in with Messi with a shooting chance, forces Lloris into a save, decent save by Lloris. It's actually Alvarez with the shooting chance. You would expect Lloris to save it. He does, keeps it in play, and France can launch an attack now. But I wonder how much ceremony there was before the game. I imagine there was probably like 2 hours of like on pitch ceremony. And I wonder if that's kind of like messed up the playing surface at all. I'm only speculating. I don't know. There was like the giant World Cup on there.
Yeah, but they've done that on every pitch.
There's probably been all sorts of like bands playing and pomp and circumstance. But you still would expect the playing surface to be better.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. Unless it doesn't, you get a funny bounce off of the. I mean, it does look like that might create, if they do kick it, like with a half volley, kind of like we saw on the other side. I don't know. Maybe it takes a weird bounce.
Yeah, it might do. It's not something you'd expect to be going on about, really. In a World Cup final, you'd expect it to be like a carpet. Argentina launching another attack against this French side. It's Di Maria who is trying to win another penalty, wriggles around in the penalty area, crosses it across, chance for 3-0, but Argentina comes to Messi on the back of the penalty area. It looked like he had a shooting chance, just couldn't get the ball out of his feet, and then France do a good job of closing the door. It might be behind for a corner, though. So that corner count is ramping up. I think it might be, looking at the replay, it should be a goal kick.
I think it's a goal kick.
Yeah. It looked like a good bit of defending, but it looked like Messi did have the last touch. But again, this is looking more and more likely Argentina are going to get the third goal in this game.
We'll see. That would close the door for sure. But, we said that about the Netherlands game, and then there was an innocent cross into the box that ends up being in the back of the net, and then the next thing you know, a couple minutes later, it's 2-2.
I don't know why France aren't trying to do anything different here. It's still the same, like casual, short passes, everything just kind of in front of the Argentina back line. They're not trying to stretch Argentina at all. They're not trying to I don't know why they're not trying to get some. It's a bit more rudimentary, and maybe that's why they don't want to play it. But you saw when Netherlands finally started throwing balls in the box, Argentina struggled with it. So I don't know why they wouldn't do that. You've got a player like Marcus Thuram, pretty good at winning the balls in the air. I don't know why you wouldn't at least try and change the tactics a little bit, because what you're doing at the moment is not working.
Now, if you're Argentina, do you make any changes, or do you just? I mean, everything's been working. Just keep it going.
I'd keep it going for now. I would keep it maybe 75 minutes on the clock, something like that. They might look to maybe bring on one of the holding midfield players. You've got a couple you could bring on. You've got Rodriguez. Who else have you got in there? Not really too many holding players. So you could bring on another centre-back, maybe in Pizzella or something like that, just to shore the game up. But they're probably just going to keep it how it is. It's working well, unless France do get a goal, do make it 2-1, you could say Argentina just aren't worried at all. And again, they're probably more thinking about getting a third goal and killing it off for good rather than shutting France out more at the other end.
And the craziest thing
again, it's Argentina have just been so good in this midfield. France win a ball in midfield, Argentina win it off them. They counter-attack at pace. Alexis McAllister looked like he's going to get in. Another brilliant Argentine counter-attack, but France just about squeeze that one away. But then they cannot get anything going, and Argentina again stop France from counter-attacking. It's a foul on Griezmann, so France do get a free kick, but the difference in the speed of play is massive between the two sides at the moment.
It really is, and You know what's crazy? France doesn't have a shot on goal yet.
I know.
It's unreal.
It's unreal, and I just don't, at the moment, I don't see it changing. Although France are coming down the left-hand side here, trying to get a ball into Griezmann. They are able to keep the ball alive in midfield, but it's probably end up going to go back. Then we do see a big sweeping switch of play. Out to Koundé, he's not able to keep the ball in, or he is able to, but Argentina clear it. No, it's not. He didn't keep it in, and it is a goal kick. But at least we did see France actually try and do a big switch of play, which we haven't seen at all in this game, which is something different. But I just don't, at the moment, I just do not see France getting back into this one.
Listen, I already see the writing on the wall here. I can already see it. 16 years from now, Netflix is going to come out with a 30 for 30 series. It's gonna have the breaking news story of France all taking $1 million to allow Messi to win his first World Cup.
Well, substitution for Argentina, Angel Di Maria, who's coming off to like a hero's reception, as you can imagine. Acuna is coming on for him. He's more of a fullback, really. So he's gonna sit in that left wing role, and he's just gonna make it. He's someone that they've shoring it up a little bit more to kind of make it 2 banks of 4 to make it even harder for France to kind of launch any attacks.
I just by the way, if you haven't subscribed to Ian OUFC, you need to do so. And at halftime, I watched his the Christmas Elf is Mad video that he put out a few hours ago. It's pretty good. So make sure you guys go subscribe to his channel.
Thank you, Matt. I mean, it might get lost on some people who don't follow lower league UK football, but it basically relates to the game I saw yesterday, which
live. And I'll be honest, it looks like there's about the same amount of fans in this one as there was at the game you went to.
Something like that. No, yeah, slightly more important game this one than yesterday's game. But if you could go over and help me out and subscribe, that would be very, very kind of you.
From looking at the stands, it does look like it's heavy Argentina, right?
It's been like that through through the tournament. Argentina have had tons of fans for every game, which has made every game like a home game for them. Probably the only game that they didn't was probably the Saudi Arabia game.
I just got the attendance, 88,966 at this one.
Yeah, so what? That is pretty much 4 times what was at the game yesterday that I went to.
No way, there was 20,000 people at that one?
22.
Really?
Yeah.
Stands didn't look like that. I'd say they're like maybe 200.
Yeah, he's a little bit behind the goal. So France, first time one of the few times we've seen them get in behind Argentina. They had good ball across the box, nobody in there attacking it, so it meant the ball just went harmlessly across, all the way across the goal, really. So even when France do get the ball in the box, they don't seem like they got the bodies in there attacking it.
France isn't showing me anything that they're going to score, so I'm getting really worried about this over 2.5, and I'm going to have to ask Argentina to put a third in, I think.
Yeah, which kind of goes back to the point that was it Mike was making earlier on about the Giroud substitution. The more and more that goes on now, is a good ball in actually from France, which is hacked behind by Nicolas Otamendi, and France do at least have a corner, Matt. So that's another corner in the corner count. I think it was Mike talking about the Giroud substitution, which again, looking back on it now, with the way France have been playing, does look an even more strange substitution the more and more this one rolls on.
Yeah, because there's nobody that came on, or there's nobody on the field that really looks like the change was warranted, because it's not like they're doing much better here. So
no, it's not, and that's right. It hasn't asked a different question of Argentina at all. It's just basically been the same, and Argentina have been able to answer the questions very easily. Whereas if you had maybe if you had Thuram and Giroud up front, maybe it would be a bit different. But France are making more changes in this one. We are seeing Kingsley Coman come on, which is a good change for them, along with, got to look that up, number 25.
While you look that up, we are sitting at 5 corners. So our live bet of over 6. We just need one more for a push, and then 2 for a nice easy win. I maybe that's how I should have played it, is looking at the live corners instead of pre-game.
These are kind of the last 2 subs that France have available to make, really, that are going to really make any attacking impact, you would say, and that is Kingsley Coman and Camavinga coming on. Both midfielders. Koeman maybe more of a winger, but not really players that you would say are going to add any, like, that are going to stretch this Argentinian back line and run in behind or anything like that. They're very much more technically good midfield players. So not sure how this is really going to make France like change their tactics and ask a different question. We will see. Hopefully it will, so we can get a nice little end to this game for the final 20 minutes. But with 20 minutes to go, it's been quite a comfortable final for Argentina.
It really has. I am glad they scored a second goal. Because again, the PK, if it would have been 1-0, and they would have won 1-0 with that PK, I would have been kind of furious about that's how they won.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the second goal was night and day goals, really, weren't they? A penalty kick and then a team goal, which was good enough to win any game of football.
Yeah, 100%. But you're just not seeing any flashes of joy, I think, from the French here. It's methodical the way they're playing.
They look a beaten side. I mean, it can change. I mean, you do see I've seen many games change where one side's very comfortable. We'll go back to Netherlands, Argentina. One side's very comfortable, and then all of a sudden a goal just appears, and then France can get up ahead of steam. Argentina can get nervous, and crazy things can happen. But you wouldn't think it doesn't look likely at the moment. But it only takes one chance, one bit of brilliance to change things around.
God, could you imagine if this somehow resulted in if it resulted in a 2-2 tie?
Yeah, well, Mbappe, for the first time in the game, really got the ball on the edge of the box. Ball broke to him, beat a couple of players, but his shot wasn't very good, and it's gone harmlessly over the bar. Got to be getting that on target, you would think, from there. But they and who's coming off? Griezmann coming off, and Hernandez. So that's a surprising one. Yeah.
See, that I just don't get. I don't get that change there. Is that a fit? Is that his fitness?
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't.
You're in the final, man. Come on.
I can't justify that. That seems really strange to me. I would have thought you could have bought off one of your holding midfield players or something. Or yeah, I don't think this has been very well managed final by Didier Deschamps at all. He's been completely tactically outmatched by Scaloni in the Argentinian dugout.
Well, I'm looking at Griezmann to see if I see any reaction. He wasn't upset. He just came off and sat down.
Yeah, he's a Gallic shrug. Stereotypical.
Major League Baseball pitchers literally throw gloves, take bats to the equipment. I mean, you can see immediately if he wanted. In fact, I've seen Major League Baseball players tell the coach to get back in the effing dugout and not take him off.
Yeah, well, you saw Giroud do that. Giroud was very animated when he came up. I don't mind seeing that at all. I don't mind seeing players get pissed off. Well, they should be pissed off. They shouldn't want to come off.
Argentina had a chance there, but not just right on target. So easy save.
Yeah, it was not the best of shots. Should have done better from there. But again, we're coming back to France. Just Argentina are just letting them have the ball, really. Not engaging with, sitting off the French until they get into their half, and then they're swarming all over them, which means it's very, very difficult for France to get in behind. Little swivel in behind there from Mbappe, but Argentina have got too many bodies back. Where are we going to get a bit of inspiration in the final 15, 20 minutes of this game? It would be great. Really hope we do.
So it looks like at the moment, Messi's going to be hoisting all the trophies.
Yeah. I mean, and again, these were that was question marks over Messi's career, really. And you talked about his greatest of all time status. They were things that people held against Messi was the fact that he'd never won an international tournament, which he 2 years ago or a year ago, he won the Copa America.
Yeah.
So that kind of put that to bed. So then the final argument was, well, he's never won a World Cup. And this is good. This could be it. So yeah,
can you explain to me why the Copa America is such a valued tournament? Because in all honesty, when I look at that, other than Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, is it? I mean, you're playing against not some great competition, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It's not as it's an international tournament, and so obviously it's a big tournament in terms of Argentina want to win it, and obviously that tournament was in Brazil, and anytime Argentina can beat Brazil, that's like a huge FU to them.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it was a big deal for them. I think they hadn't won it for a long time, so it was a big in terms of tournaments outside of the World Cup. I think you'd probably look at the European Championships as kind of being the second biggest, just with the strength.
I think the Euros is a much better tournament too. I'd rather watch the Euros than that, and Nations League and all that. I mean, to me, it goes World Cup, Euros, and then pick your poison on what you want to next.
Alvarez trying to outrun this French defense in behind, and literally the way Argentina, like they've had the players to be able to like stretch the back line and get in behind, and France just haven't been able to do that. And every time France get the ball, they're just not able to like get in any space and play forward. The Euros as well used to be. They've changed it to 24 sides. It used to be 16 teams, which made it a lot tighter tournament, and you actually had pretty much great games right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of diluted that tournament a little bit more, but I actually don't mind it the way it is now. But it used to be a really, really strong tournament when it was only 16 nations.
Yeah, I can imagine. I am hearing, I think we talked about this last week, but I am hearing that US, Canada, and Mexico will be in Copa America this year.
Oh, wow. All three of them. That's huge.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Not that the USA is confirmed, but I think they're going to reach out to both of the other ones as well. I'm not sure if they're going to go, but yeah.
I always find that a really weird dynamic because, like, if you're a guest side, it'd be really odd if like USA went and won it. Like Copa American champions, USA.
100%. But I mean, again, they're picking teams like Qatar, who was in it last time, who have no chance of winning it. And let's be honest, USA is not going to win that.
No, but they've had Mexico in it before. And again, they're not going to win it either. But
at least Mexico is a little Southern American-ish. I mean, like.
True.
You know,
well,
I mean, the Canadians, I mean, they'd be like, "Hey, welcome to the party, eh?"
Yeah, well, but they've had like Japan in it, haven't they? They've had, I think Australia have been in it, maybe.
Okay.
But
you're telling me they only pick teams that, and I know Japan was decent this year, but back then not as great. You're telling me they're only bringing in teams that suck.
That's what I was going to say. It's like kind of like if they pick someone and the guest kind of turns up and they start being really good, it's like that they go, look, you're a guest here. You know, that's fine. You've enjoyed yourself, but don't outstay your welcome.
You know what that reminds me of? In college football, the big schools like Alabama, Georgia, they actually pay millions of dollars for like lower school teams to come play them. So that they can get a win and that the team can use that money to benefit their school. I mean, that's literally what happens in college football here in the States. That's exactly what that reminds me of, is the Copa America is like, you know what? You can come because, you know, we're going to beat you, but at least you're going to get some recognition.
Wasn't that the plot of that American football movie with Adam Sandler in it, like Longest Yard?
That was the prisoners versus the
but wasn't that the premise of like that the prisoners played like their team so they could get an easy win?
Correct. Well, it was like a warm-up game. Yeah, they were using it as a warm-up game. for sure.
But I don't know anything about college football, but my hot take is I think it's a travesty that Alabama didn't make the playoffs.
I think you know more than you let on.
By
the way, nothing's going on here in this game. This is super boring.
Oh, we might have a chance. France in behind us. There's going to be a penalty. We got a penalty to France.
We got a penalty! We got a penalty for France! Let's go! Let's go! Holy shit, he's going to miss it. I guarantee he misses it.
That's Kulo Moani, who's, I think that might be literally the first thing that he's done. And that's one of the things that they've not been able to do is get in behind this Argentinian backline who don't have a huge amount of pace. And Nicolas Otamendi is probably the one with the least amount of pace out of all of them. And he's got behind him. He's dragged him to the ground, and now France have a chance to score it. It must be Mbappe who takes this penalty kick.
Well, I was going to ask who's taking it. Giroud's on the bench. Griezmann's on the bench.
It's Mbappe. Now, Mbappe, do not do what Harry Kane did.
Oh my God!
And you missed out on my joke earlier on when I said England have not had a penalty in this tournament. But
that's true. I did. Well, I didn't get that as a joke because I expected him to make their penalties.
They certainly didn't get two in a game. Mbappe up against Martinez. Mbappe scores.
Yeah, let's go, baby. Let's go. We got ourselves a game. Let's go. Mike won his parlay. We hit our over. Let's go. We got a game.
They've just had the French Prime Minister Emmanuel Macron, or is he president? I don't know. But the guy who looks like he is literally a straight out of the Illuminati playbook, jumping up, celebrating in the stands, going crazy. But France have a lifeline, and they haven't deserved it, but they've got a chance now.
Here we go. All right, so we got about 10 minutes plus stoppage, which I'm going to guess at the moment is probably just going to be 5 minutes. The penalty didn't really take too long to set up. He got lucky there. Let's be honest on the penalty. He got a little lucky.
Do you want to know? Yeah, I know. Matt's a massive... You wouldn't believe how much of a hypocrite Matt is from Grandstand Bettors. The man who helps penalties cheering a penalty.
Well, because I want the over. I want the over, Razzie. I want the over. I don't care now.
He's like this all the time.
Hey, my over hit, and that was plus 124 at 2.5 units, which means it's paying out 3.1 units, and that's what I start my day with. Of course I'm cheering on that penalty. Let's go.
Razzie, you're right to call us out on that though, mate. No doubt about it. But we just wanted a good game, and that at least might give us a good game. Is France in behind again? And they've leveled it up!
Oh my God! Are you serious?
Wow, what a goal!
Oh my God, what is going on? What is going on?
It's Mbappe again. And again, Emmanuel Macron is going crazy in the stands. But finally, a little bit of intensity in France's play.
Holy shit!
Mbappe on the volley, beautifully finished into the corner. So just like Argentina, we've seen a penalty and a beautiful team goal. We've seen the same from France now. And we are tied at 2.
That is so sick. And by the way, listen, I'm not sure what stream you guys were watching at the beginning, but somebody on this stream said 2-2 going into PKs, maybe? Just put it out there. Out there.
He absolutely did. But again, this is one we haven't seen France do this very often, but they won a ball up. They won the ball back off Argentina high up the pitch. It's actually Kulo Moani who won the penalty. It's Kingsley Coman who got the ball off Messi on that halfway line. We've seen very little from France being able to do that. And then France moved the ball around much quicker than we had before. One touch passing, ball over the top to Mbappe. Beautiful finish from Kylian Mbappe. Finally, he's arrived in his final. But I tell you what, Matt, you were celebrating hitting your bet. I haven't talked about it, but that penalty mean I celebrated hitting my bet as well.
You take over 3.5?
No, I had Messi and Mbappe to have one shot on target, and they both got it with their penalties.
Nice, man. Nice. Love it. God, that was an easy way to win, huh?
But I didn't think Mbappe was going to have a shot on target. That's why I was like, please take it. Please take it.
Oh my God, this is absolutely nuts what we got going on right here. We have basically the exact same situation that happened in the Netherlands game. And I don't know what it is about the Argentinians. Maybe they just, at the 80th minute, they just have problems focusing on finishing games. And that is going to be talked about if they do lose this one. My wife's going to be pissed because we were supposed to go somewhere after this, and we might go to extra time here.
Well, Argentina's still coming forward now. Acuna got the ball out wide, trying to get across and get it back to the edge of the box. Shot from Messi from distance is blocked, but France just needed something to wake them up. The world champions, they have been woken up now, and they've got so much more intensity about the way they're playing the ball now, winning the ball back off Argentina. But it's amazing that the dynamic of the game's just completely changed now. Argentina playing a little bit more, a little bit more stretched, a little bit more panicked. But I think you're going to have a final 10 minutes of this game where you've just got two sides almost counter-attacking on each other. And it should be a pretty exciting final 10 minutes. As France come forward, smashing it through the middle. Mbappe was the onside. He gets the ball across, and it looks like it's just over the head of Marcus Thuram at the back post. It's actually over the head of Kolo Muani at the back post. But again, it's Mbappe involved just over his head, and the ball goes wide. But France have looked more dangerous in the last 5 minutes than they have done throughout the rest of the 80.
Well, and credit to you. You said all it takes is, that one the penalty's got them going. And now they look like they're alive and wanting to score. That was close on that cross there. That's probably the shortest guy on their team.
I've just seen so many games of soccer where a side's 2-0 up, and even if the other side gets a goal back in like the 89th minute to make it 2-1, all of a sudden it just becomes a panic, thinking, oh no, we might not win, and you've made it. Well, not that it happens a lot, but it can happen that mistakes start to creep in, and all of a sudden 2-0 goes to 2-2 very quickly.
Well, I've said this before. In hockey, we call a 2-0 lead the worst lead you could have. Or a two-goal lead.
They've started saying that in football over the last sort of 5 or 6 years, where it's a dangerous lead, and people laughed at it when they first started saying it. But then when they thought about it, it's like, yeah, it's pretty true.
So the boot race, Mbappe is actually the leader now.
He will be. That's put him back on it. I think that's got him to 7. It's a lot of goals.
Yeah, 7 goals, yeah.
That's a lot of goals. To score in a World Cup.
And to be honest, again, because Messi's goals have been mostly from penalty kicks, I would hate for him to win that award.
Talk about players that might have made a little name for themselves in this World Cup. Kolo Muani, very much an unknown player going into this one, scored in the semi-finals, come on and has made a bit of a difference to this French side. I mean, he's doing won a free kick for them now, high up the pitch for France to have a chance to swing a cross in. But he might be someone that like people wasn't on their radar. All of a sudden they might be on their radar to snap him up in the January window. Oh, we got another. Oh my goodness. See, France, I thought there was going to be another penalty for France there, but they've given it as a free kick to Argentina for simulation. So they're saying that he dived. VAR is certainly going to have a look at this. Marcus Thuram, that is. And I thought the referee was going to point for a penalty again, but it's given it as it. We'll see on a replay. Oh, I don't know about this.
Are we going to have the VR?
I don't know if they will. They're playing on. If they've kicked off again, then they won't. But I reckon VAR must be checking this.
I'm going to have to see a slow-mo replay. I couldn't tell live. Well,
they're carrying on with referee's decision on that one, so they're not checking it.
You know what? That's a dive. I'm seeing it from a great angle. The Argentinian doesn't even touch him. In fact, he plants his foot, and that's a dive. That's 100% a dive.
He looked like he was falling over before. It looked like he was falling over before the Argentina player made contact with him, and I think there was contact.
Yeah.
And sometimes you see them given when they're slowed down
Sure.
because the referee goes and has a look and he sees the contact and then he gives the penalty.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that one's probably the right decision. What a goal by Mbappe, though.
That was sick, man. That was absolutely fantastic. Goal of the tournament, maybe, other than goal of the tournament in terms of when the goal was made. I mean, if you want to take the bicycle kick, fine, but that was in group stage, didn't really mean anything. This with what was on the line here, great finish.
Couldn't agree with you more in terms of absolutely clutch. To hit that first time as well is to get that the technique needed to get that into the bottom corner at that pace was pretty special. Got a little bit of an injury stoppage now. I think there was a head injury, so they take their time.
Yeah, I think we're going to see probably about 7 minutes again here of stoppage time, especially after this little injury.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, just a clash of heads. Nothing sinister. By the way, breaking news from England is unfortunately Gareth Southgate is staying on as the England manager till the next European Championship.
I am starting to hear Berhalter firing rumblings.
Well, it's been a debate over here about it's kind of very 50-50 split in terms of like some people thinking he should stay, some people thinking he should go. He said he was going to make a decision in January, but they've come out very, very quickly and
said that he's staying.
He said that he's staying. So, I don't know. I kind of would have rather have gone with someone new, but France are certainly going a bit more direct and having a bit more joy with it. Got to cross into the box, Argentina deal with it and get it away. But where was this like half an hour ago from France? Again, just a long raking ball in, comes out wide. Koulibaly causing, Kingsley Coman causing problems. But France do keep possession, but it's back on the halfway line. But they'll be looking to try and control this final 8 minutes of added on time.
Well, personally, I'd like them to finish because
me too.
It's gonna take into my casino time that I was planning to go to before this hockey game that I'm going to today. But honestly, I can't see anybody as we creep closer to the eighth minute of the extra time, anybody taking too many chances knowing they'll have another 30 minutes to play.
I think that there'll be one more chance to either side. Whether they take it or not, I don't know, but I think there'll be one more big chance in this final 8 minutes.
How sick would it be if France ends this in the 90? So sick.
Yeah, I hope if they do, I hope the camera pans and follows Messi around as much as they would do if he won it.
Would it go down as the greatest, the greatest collapse ever in World Cup history?
I don't know all the scores off the top of my head, but it's got to be certainly one of them. There's been a few 3-2s in World Cup finals. I think Argentina and Germany had a couple. But I don't know whether a side's been 2-0 down and come back to win 3-2. So it might well be.
Kind of. By the way, we're not getting any corners anymore, which sucks. We just need one more.
But France got a free kick. Marcus Thuram wins a free kick. Quite decent position for France to throw a free kick into the box here. Got some defenders up for the back. So this might be their final chance to get that third goal. But hook or by crook, we questioned the coach making the changes, but those changes have lifted France a little bit.
They did. How fitting is this, though? We come on the telecast, we immediately talk about one of the greatest comebacks of all time in the NFL yesterday with the Colts down 33 or up 33 points over the Vikings at halftime. They come back and win 39-36, and then we're sitting here 2 goals up, and what a great comeback in the matter of minutes.
Absolutely. Just on that game, what's the situation with like the any of those sides kind of like playoff contenders, Vikings or Colts?
Vikings, yeah, they might be the top spot in the NFC. So that was a huge comeback. And I mean, even if they would have lost that, they're going to make the playoffs. The Colts, on the other hand, that took them definitely out of playoff contention. They had an outside chance of winning their division if they win that game. But yeah, that's demoralizing in more than one way. Not only that they lost it, but they're out of the playoffs.
Kylian Mbappe has come alive in this game, and not just because he scored 2 goals, but all of a sudden he is, every time he gets the ball, something looks likely to happen. Gets the ball in space, runs at that Argentinian defense, has a shot, good deflection behind, but it is deflected behind for a corner. I think if we get one more, maybe you've won. Is that right?
Is that a corner? Do we got a corner?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. 6. That's a push. I can't lose that bet. I can only win it.
Okay. We did get the corner. Corner swung in by France. Martinez opts to punch, but it is a pretty good punch. Clears the danger. I think that was the right decision to make. But France keep it alive with Mbappe on the sideline. Wow, we might have a penalty here, Matt, but Argentina are coming forward. They haven't got the ball clear. It's not Argentina, sorry. France have got the ball into the box, and Martinez is able to dive on it. We are going to check this again, I reckon, for a foul. Might be just on the line of the penalty area. As Christian Moreira did a really good job of getting it back, but then they're obviously not checking it because the play's gone on, and Argentina are charging forward now with Messi. The ball goes out of play for a throw-in, but I think they need to have another look at that potential foul.
It wasn't in the box, though.
Was it not? Was it just outside, was it?
Yeah, it was outside the box.
Okay, so that's why.
And I can't believe France could have scored there anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, but it looks like a booking. Looks like Olivier Giroud is going to get booked here for he's a substitute. But it looks like he's going to get booked for something he's probably said to a
at least he's going to make his mark on the game.
Yeah.
And he says Mbappe is still on French time.
I want to see that. I want to see that again, though. I want to see whether that was outside the area.
It was well outside the area. Yeah.
Okay, well that's all right then. But it is France who are giving the ball to Mbappe, and he's just making mincemeat of this French side. Marcus Thuram's through on goal here. Argentina player gets back, but Mbappe's on the ball, trying to bundle his way through, and Argentina, another shout. No, not given again. Argentina get the ball forward, but where has this France performance been? All of a sudden, France look dangerous every time they come forward now, with Marcus Thuram and Mbappe running at them, but it is Argentina on the ball now with Messi. Trying to get one last pass to them. Ball goes out wide to Acuna. Not many players in the box. He opts to go back inside. Gets it back outside to the other fullback who crosses Paul, and France can clear the danger again with Rabiot. Can they get one? Terrible challenge. Referee has opted to give the free kick. I'm surprised he's not done a yellow card there. That's got to be a yellow card.
Ian, in all honesty, the ref doesn't want to give a penalty to decide it here in the 8+ minutes.
No, I don't think he does. But there's been some rash challenges coming in that look like they're like France are either trying to win one or Argentina are trying to give one away. But
in fact, VAR is probably turned off their network. They don't even want to be a part of this.
Wow, unless Messi gets fouled. But
True.
And here it is Alvarez down the left-hand side. Plays the ball back inside to Messi with a shooting chance. And it's a shot straight at Lloris, but Lloris has to palm it over the crossbar. That was the moment everybody was thinking that it's Lionel Messi winning it in the last minute of normal time. Gets a bit of space on the edge of the box. It's a great effort. Lloris should save it, and he does save it. It goes over the top.
But most importantly, that corner wins us that bet.
Sure does. But I would still wouldn't rule out a winner in. So there's been chances for both sides in this extra time period. You saw France have a bit of a goalmouth scramble. Argentina obviously going close with Messi. Messi trying to make this corner the last play of the game. Because we might see a France counter-attack if this doesn't go right. But
wow,
headed to the edge of the box. We might see a French break here. Sive down, but he gets up and carries on. Why? It's so annoying why the referee stopped the game there with France on a counter-attack. When you see that, Acuna's taken a yellow card, but the referee should have allowed the play to carry on. Like, Koulo Mwani's fouled, but he gets back up and he's got a chance to run forward. And France had a break there. And Argentina are quite lucky that that was called back for a foul.
He's getting word in his ear that he needs to let this go to extra time for ratings.
May well be. Kingsley Coman with a chance to cross the ball. He's got into a bit of space. Needs the cross to be good. It's not great. Bounces around in the penalty area, but Argentina are going to get this ball clear. And that's a beautiful ball over the top. For Alvarez, he's running one-on-one with the defender. France got quite a few players back, but it's come to Messi again on the edge of the box. Can he get it out wide? I think France should be able to clear this, and they do. That is the end of normal time. We do go to extra time. This game is not over yet, folks.
I knew this was going to ruin my casino trip. I knew it was going to. We're going to at least be here another 30 minutes, could be an hour with penalties. I got to use the restroom real quick, but stay with us, guys. I'll be right back as it's only going to be a couple minutes in between. That is a crazy comeback. I'm just saying I called 2-2. That's all I'm saying.
You did. Good call.
I'll be right back.
Just saw Mbappe getting furiously massaged on the side of the pitch there.
Oh, is he using the same guy Deshaun Watson, the same girl Deshaun Watson uses?
I was hoping you were going to make that sort of joke.
Oh, don't get me riled up about that situation.
What's he won? 2 out of 3 games for the Browns now since coming back?
Yeah, 2 out of 3. You sound a little funny now, by the way.
Do I? I was eating some chocolate. Is that still weird?
Oh, I don't know. It just sounds like you're farther away from the mic. I don't know.
Oh, I probably had a mouthful of food.
Oh, maybe that's it. I don't know. All right. So here we go. 2 15-minute periods in this one. As we go to extra time, I had to break the news to the wife that we're going to be a little late to the casino. She's fine. It's taking her 4 hours to get ready anyway. So
there we go.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to get ready?
I will just throw on some jeans and a sweatshirt and we'll be out of here right after this goes. And because I'm going to have to leave even quicker probably after this one, I do want to take this opportunity. I was going to do a nice speech at the end, but Ian, I got to thank you, man. This past month has been really fun. I appreciate you joining us. I know a lot of people in the chat have appreciated you being with us as we wait here for extra time to start. But, dude, I love you. You're awesome. You're a fantastic commentator. Everything soccer. And I know we've talked off air of maybe continuing a partnership in some way. And so I look forward to it, man. So thank you. And I'm sure everybody in the chat thanks you as well.
Wow, that's very kind of you to say, Matt. It's been, I've enjoyed it. It's been great. And if we can do some future live streams, that'll be great as well. So
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, we are getting weird. I don't think it was the mouthful of food. You do sound like you sound a little echoey now.
Oh, do I? Let me just.
I don't know what it is. I mean, it's not a big deal. I'm just letting you know. But we are getting ready to kick off, so don't worry about it too much. And we will see if one of these teams.
That probably sounds better now.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it must have flicked a cable, and the microphone must have flicked onto a different microphone other than the good one.
No worries. All right, so what thoughts, predictions? Are we going to see a goal, or is this going to be just like me saying it's going to PKs?
Tough to say, isn't it? Extra time traditionally is. I'd like to see France kind of play with the same intensity that they did at the end of that game. It made it a very open game at the end there. Both sides looked like they could have won it late. I'd like to see that carrying on, but history of the game usually tells me that this is going to be a little bit cagey, and both sides are going to be in a bit let's not mess this up now mode, and so they're going to be a bit more subdued.
See, I would disagree with the fact of like that should be what teams should think, but if I'm Argentina and I just blew a 2-goal lead in 1 minute in the World Cup, I do not want to have to rely on my goalkeeper to decide my fate. If I'm Messi, I want to come out here and I want to score a goal and I just want to finish this game. I mean, do you really want to leave it up to your goalkeeper?
I hate penalties in terms of I've had a lot of heartbreak with penalties in major tournaments supporting England. So I would never want a game to go to penalties, and I'd always want to try and step it up and get a goal in extra time.
For sure.
It's just you rarely see it. And whether that's a case of tiredness, which is a factor, as Argentina do swing a ball into the box, it comes out, and it's a terrible effort on the edge of the box from Alexis McAllister, and it goes behind for a goal kick. But usually you just see the pace of the game drops. I'm not sure whether that's just because it's a break of play and whether players have to start again. You do see the pace of it drop for tiredness a little bit. And you just rarely see extra time being this like really like intense back and forth game. But I hope I'm wrong. Hopefully you will see this one being a bit different.
It just always boggles my mind, though, with the situation that you literally have France, who was phenomenal from the 80th minute until the 98th. Why won't they come out with a little more, pizzazz?
Well, so far this one started all right. Argentina have looked pretty good so far at the start of this one. They've come out with a bit of intensity. Nearly a bit of a mistake there in the back line for France. Player falling over, but he has managed to get back on his feet, Camavinga, to challenge Messi to stop that attack. But it does look like France have gone back into slowdown mode, but Argentina look like they've come out of a bit of fire in the belly.
Andy says Argentina is going to flop more in the extra time to get a set piece for the win. But he also agrees the World Cup final should be a marathon, a golden goal situation, if you will. That I'll tell you that, by the way. If you don't want to change the penalty kicks in soccer, go ahead.
You'll never get into that casino. If you made it golden goal on it, you're just going to make it even. They're even going to be even more defensive.
All right, here's my thought, and hear me out because I think I can change your mind. How about golden goal during the 30 minutes?
But they've tried that before. They have tried that before.
Have they?
That's what they did. They tried. They said golden goal for 30 minutes, and then it's a penalty shootout. But it just made it even more defensive, and there were even fewer goals when they tried that.
All right, then here's my new opinion: no 30 minutes, and just go straight to PKs.
Could do that.
I mean, why do we have to watch extra time, which typically the only extra time we've seen during this tournament that was anything was Brazil-Croatia, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely right, yeah. And they started doing that in English soccer in like some of the tournaments in the early rounds, like the League Cup. Not sure about FA Cup, but it goes straight to penalties after 90 minutes. And it is just, that's it. You've played your game. We need to decide it. Go to penalties.
Or like the NHL, instead of they do like 3-on-3 in extra time for 5 minutes, and then they go to a shootout.
I'll tell you what, but for a World Cup final, though, I must say, if you want to have a situation where you don't want a World Cup final settled on penalties, then maybe you could go back to saying golden goal, or you could go back to doing that situation, what you've just said, where you pull players until you get a result. Because I think that most people would say they would rather the game be settled without penalties. Yeah.
But we can talk about it until our Rubio is coming off.
Oh, is he? Oh, you can make one more substitution in extra time, by the way.
Fofana, I think, is coming on. I can't.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's Fofana.
Fofana.
He's the guy who started the semi-final instead of Rabiot. So
are these penalty taker changes that we're seeing?
I would say that's probably more a fitness thing. Rabiot was kind of suffering a bit with injury and illness before this final, so I think that might just be that he's, probably knackered and needs to come off. I would have said France have taken off 2 penalty takers in Giroud and Griezmann for sure. But they needed to make those changes, so that's there's a balance to always be struck.
This game, the extra time really does irritate me, Ian. Only because you had such a great last 18 minutes of the match, and then it just comes to a halt. It seems like.
Yeah, you do just This one would have been nice to just go to a shootout, wouldn't it? Just to end it. Although Argentina playing nicely, getting forward again, opportunity to cross from the left, ball into the box. Not a lot of height in that Argentina front line, so wouldn't imagine they're going to score too many goals from there. Hooked back in, that's going to go behind for a goal kick. And so 7 minutes in, very little goal scoring opportunities so far. And again, you probably need to fast forward this extra time period to maybe like the final 5 minutes before you see a lot of urgency.
I mean, they're getting a couple crosses. I think Argentina probably had the better chances so far in the first 7 minutes here, but yeah. Molina, by the way, came out as well for Argentina.
Yes, I saw that one. Yeah, that looks like another. I wouldn't have said that's a penalty decision or anything. It looked like another light for light change. France with a chance to cross from deep. That might spin behind for a corner. No, it spins it spins into the hands of Martinez. But that's France's first chance we've seen of them crossing the ball in, but no shooting chances of yet. Yeah. Any good bets in the NFL today?
It's our bet of the year this week, man. Our bet of the year. And it's in our video. If you're on our channel, if you're not subscribed, make sure you do so. But it is our bet of the year. And it's going to be the Titans and the Chargers over 46.5 points. So that is our bet of the year. And we actually open up, if we lose that bet, we'll be doing a punishment. So if you want to give us a punishment in that video comment section, please do so.
Yeah, go and leave a comment on that video. But what was the bet again? One more time.
Titans and the Chargers over 46.5 points. So yeah, that's our bet of the year.
We just saw France a couple of times there raise their game a little bit. There was Mbappe running at the Argentinian back line. Before that, I think it was either Koulo Moani or Thuram running at them. But it ends up with France winning a free kick right down on the left-hand side. So they've got a chance to throw a ball into the box. But France, that's good to see. France are still going for the goals, going for a bit of an attacking intent. They haven't just dropped off in this one. Good to see Mbappe still up there.
Yeah.
But we will see. France have an opportunity to get a ball in the box here from a free kick. It'll be hopefully they can get a goal scoring chance or a shot on goal from it.
All right, guys. I see some new people coming in the chat. If you are coming in, smash that like button for us and let us know who do you think is going to win. This one surely is going to go to penalties.
Yeah, ball came out was clear from Argentina, but only to the edge of the box. So France took a long range shot, which looked like it was going to go and bounce out wide to Kingsley Coman, but Messi was there to in a defensive position to head it behind for a corner to France. So France keeping the pressure on here. Need a good ball in from Kingsley Coman. That's not great. That's headed away at the near post. Can they have still got it alive though. Second ball into the box. Again, Argentina do well at repelling the danger. And yeah, they win a free kick on the edge of the box. Not surprising. Is it for offside? It might be for offside.
At this moment, is there anybody that's sitting on the bench that was taken out by France that maybe would affect your PK? That would it be better to have Giroud and Griezmann out there for your PKs?
Oh, I reckon they would have absolutely taken one. But you've brought players on that are, I mean, Marcus Thuram, you would still say he would probably take one. So, that's fine.
I guess what I'm getting at is, do you feel that maybe France, because of who they've taken off, they might be probably an underdog to win the PKs? So you would think they'd have more sense of urgency here?
Possibly. I wouldn't say they'd look at it like that. I think both sides would look at penalties as being a bit of a complete lottery, a real 50-50 shot. You've got two pretty good goalkeepers in there saving penalties. And Argentina, other than Messi, wouldn't say they've got a huge amount of experience in terms of penalty takers, although they have come through one shootout already in this tournament. Lautaro Martinez actually is a guy coming on for Argentina, and he will probably be likely to take a penalty coming on for Paredes. I think Paredes came on as a sub, and he's going off as a sub. So, yeah, he's probably going to be someone that will take one from the spot. And
I hate this extra time, man. It's so unnecessary.
Drags a bit, doesn't it? Today drags a lot. They should even maybe even slimline it down to just play. Don't have to play half an hour. Just play 15 minutes.
Yeah. In fact, I'm already changing the graphic while we're sitting here to PKs because I just can't see anything happening. It's the only time during the World Cup that there's no extra really added time. It's going to immediately be over once we hit 105. And then we'll have another 15 minutes as they change sides.
We sure will. We sure will. Hey, come on. Argentina with a long raking ball, which is very easily defended, but they pick up the second ball in midfield with Alexis McAllister, who's going backwards more than he's going forwards, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get in here. Nah. All very slow. All very easy to defend and all very cautious. Yeah. Although that's a great ball in behind. Argentina might be able to fashion something here. Good defending from France, though, and the cross is well overhit from Acuna and goes miles out of play.
I hate somebody hoisting a trophy when it comes down to the penalty kicks. I know I've said this a million times. I do want to see this taken care of on the pitch,
I've had 2 new subscribers, and I think they were from this stream. Razzie was one of them, and so thank you, Razzie, if you're still in here.
Hell yeah, Razzie. Somebody in the chat says Argentina wins. We'll see. Still plenty of time for some chaos to happen if they want it to.
Well, they're coming forward at the moment, but they're doing as many passes forward as they are backwards. But Messi's got the ball in midfield. Trying to get a little shooting chance. Lovely little 1-2 into play. Argentina with a chance here. It takes too long, and France are able to get back. And then a wild, like scissor-kicked shot from miles out, and Upamecano has to head it behind. But that is certainly the best opening Argentina has forged. Some brilliant defending in there from the French. Some last-minute challenges in there. Second one was definitely headed behind by Varane. First one was a great challenge by Upamecano, but that was Argentina with some really nice passing, opened the French up quite nicely on that attack.
I'll be honest, if that scissor kick goes in, that immediately becomes the best goal I've ever seen.
I think so.
Was, and the fact that it was on target, I mean, that's the shit that you see fly 40 yards usually over the goal.
Absolutely, yeah. Corner comes to nothing, though, and France have got the ball back. I think we're going to get half-time now.
And a great defending there with that slide. They should have put that ball in.
Yeah, but it was a real last-ditch defensive effort, but did well.
I'd like to see
yeah, you're right. He should have got the shot away for sure.
I'd like to see the replay because I don't remember live.
Argentina in again. Oh, this guy's behind. Is that going to be given as offside? No, this was Martinez who's just come on. And that was just this was like the goal we saw Argentina score against Croatia, where it's just a long straight ball through the middle, a well-timed run. France go to sleep a little bit, and Martinez is given as a goal kick. Really should have done better. Should have at least got it on target, unless it was deflected wide. But that is Argentina with 2 pretty big chances at the end of the first half of extra time. But it is still 2-2. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this World Cup.
Oh, my God. By the way, guys, if you're a bettor out there, I mean, I'm seeing some comments come through on my NFL video, and it's just hilarious what people think. If you're a bettor out there as we wait to go to the second half of extra time, I had somebody in my comments say, "Oh, I hate how you always bet over-unders. Like, dude, like, what do you care what the bet is? If you like betting money lines, if you like betting spreads, if you like betting over-unders, like, what do you got? Why do you want to let the bet type define who you are? Like, as long as it's a winner, who matters? Like, what does it matter? I can't stand it with some of these people." All right, well, there's a little bit of break here. Stick with us. We'll be back here in just a minute for the second half of this one.
Well, what do we reckon then? Are we going to get a goal, which would effectively probably be a golden goal, or are we going to get penalties?
It's going to be penalties. It's going to be in the chat, guys. Put what you think it's going to be. Is it going to be penalties, or is it going to be a goal here in the second half? I really think it's going to PKs, which is going to elongate this even more. I'm never going to make the casino today, and I'm absolutely pissed about it.
What's the odds on Matt making the casino?
Slim to none, but it was like the one fun thing in the last week that I was looking forward to. And of course, Argentina and Messi immediately, not the best in the world. He's off my list.
Yeah, exactly. What was I thought this extra time was the one fun thing you had to do this week. Argentina start this second half period of extra time on the front foot, but a cross goes way out of play for a goal kick to France. But no, are you not enjoying this extra time? I thought you liked extra time.
I'm not even going to get on that. Don't rile me up.
Okay. But it's so much more fun to watch.
Oh, I am. If it does go to PKs, I am going to go get changed so that we can immediately leave after the PKs.
What was that game where the opposition recovered an onside kick and went on to beat the Browns? Just remember that game.
The Jets. Why you got to bring up shit like that? By the way, we are 30 minutes away from NFL Week 15 really kicking off here on this Sunday. So stick with us. We'll give you score updates if we get any.
Good ball in behind, but Lloris has to come out, and he couldn't hold on to that ball. It was good. He would have carried out of the penalty area. Has to palm it behind for a throw into Argentina, who again have started this second period of extra time as the aggressors in this game. France look like the side more likely to just settle in now for penalties as a very inventive free kick, shooting chance. Lloris gets down to save it. Can Argentina get a second ball? No, as an Argentinian guy throws himself to the ground. It was Messi with the shooting chance again. It is on target, but you'd expect Lloris to save it, and he does.
Do you like when goalkeepers come out that far in the 18 box?
Yeah.
You do? You like them taking the proactive approach there?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I just think they I think that goalkeepers that I think generally it's accepted goalkeepers. There's a lot more goalies that players like that, what they call sweeper keeper, where they're a lot more active. And Lloris is like a real. He was like almost one of the first goalies to play that kind of almost really high line and almost be charging out. As Argentina come forward again, great opportunity to win this game. Every shot on goal, we got a winner. Have we got a winner? That's surely gone over the line. It is a goal.
We got a goal for the Argentina.
Go ahead in extra time. The casino is
the casino's alive. The casino's alive.
Argentina deserve it for the way they played in this extra time period. Again, they cut France open with some 1-2s, got in behind. I know Messi was involved in it. I don't think he got the finishing touch on that ball, but it was a shot that was saved and the rebound came out and an Argentina player got on the end of it. France could not clear that off the line. It looked like it was in. Are they going to check this for being offside? I think we're okay on that phase of play.
I thought
we're okay on that phase of play. This is not going to be overturned.
Messi was the one who scored that.
Oh, Messi scored it. I'm sorry. Yeah. But it's number 22 from Argentina, who is can't even see who that is.
Well, you know what? That if it does end up 3-2, that's kind of the ending you want to see.
Well, whoever it was from Argentina, the forward, absolutely drilled that shot.
Yeah.
And Hugo Lloris he was almost like taken by surprise for it. Just couldn't get his hands up. He couldn't really get the ball out of a dangerous area. And it just ended up falling right to Messi's feet. That almost feels like fate. That goal, doesn't it? Fell right to him, 6 yards out. The ball was over the line. And now France are in that same position they were in regulation where they've got to find a goal with 10 minutes to go.
Well, you know what? The way Argentina's been giving up goals late in games, I mean, let's not count France out, but at least we should see some exciting chances.
Yeah, I mean, that's just for the way they've played in this extra time period, Argentina deserved that goal. They've been much the better side. At least they've tried to force the game a little bit, which is what we wanted to see. And well, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it in normal time, so maybe they'll do it in extra time. But that'd be great. I just don't want the game to end on penalties. I'd rather it just kind of end with an Argentinian winner now.
Oh man, let's go! because technically this was right here, 12:30 is when I wanted to leave for the casino. So, I mean, we're only going to be 10 minutes late.
Yeah.
My wife just goes till France fucks it up.
Hey. That's the spirit, Jackie.
Oh, onside. Look at how close to that. You know what? I think I see a finger. I think I see a finger that's off, and I think they're letting it stand. That finger did look off.
It's such a stupid graphic, that, because the finger, you can't be played onside with your finger anyway, because it has to be a part of the body you can score a goal with.
I saw one earlier where they counted one off because he was offsides with his finger.
Was it his finger or is that all over the shoulder?
No, I think it's, is it the shoulder?
Because kind of like shoulder's all right because you can control the ball with your shoulder, but it's like it's no. But why am I trying to explain the offside rule? It's like it changes every week.
All right, we got 8 minutes left. 8 minutes left in this one. Let's see if France can do anything.
It's like that used to be a stereotypical joke about women in football who like women don't know the offside rule, but I don't think anybody does anymore.
True. I mean, you don't have to because they take care of it for you.
Yeah, of course. And what could possibly go wrong? Right.
Could you imagine if there was VAR in like baseball with balls and strikes? I mean, the game would take 40 hours.
Right. What do you get? Do you get a number of challenges, don't you?
You do, but it's not for balls and strikes. It's just for like if somebody steals second base and they call them out and then you think it was safe, like that kind of stuff.
You get challenges in cricket as well. That's why you get 3 challenges per innings.
Do you play cricket socially?
I used to. Yeah, I used to. It's a very easy game to play. I mean, literally, like amateur cricket is like really anybody could rock up and play it. Really,
I'm actually 3rd in the world. You didn't know that?
You probably are. But you don't have to have any. You don't have to be athletic at all. I mean, the amount of like old fat blokes that just carry on playing into their 50s and 60s. And yeah, so it's a lot of people. A lot of people. Rather than football, where it's like very, I don't know. I just get very annoyed with football the way like everybody's very kind of like abusive towards like officials and stuff like that, and then pretends to be friends afterwards. Whereas cricket's there's a lot more respect in the game. Like kind of everyone's just there for like a bit of a fun time,
tea party. So
that is a really bad challenge on Camavinga. I'm not sure who's done it, but that looks a really nasty challenge, and it has caused a little bit of a melee. It's not the first time we've seen Argentina get involved in the nasty side of the game.
Oh, God.
And I'd like to see another replay of that because it's a yellow card to Paredes. But that looks a really dangerous challenge. But it's given France an opportunity to give a free kick here. So they've got an opportunity to get a ball in the box here. And who knows? Who knows?
About 36 yards out. And we'll see if they do like an in-swinger into the box.
Yeah, it's come out. It's cleared initially, but France have still got the ball. That's a very underhit pass. And Argentina nearly nick it off them, but they win it back again. But still aren't anywhere near the Argentinian goal. Thuram's done really well with some body strength to win the ball down in the corner. Can he cross it? He kicks it off an Argentinian player, and that is behind for a corner of Alexis McAllister. A corner to France as they try and get this equalizer to not only keep their World Cup dreams alive, but to stop Matt's dreams of making it to the casino.
Oh.
So it's the final sub of the game, I think. Alexis McAllister comes off for Argentina, probably going to be replaced by the other Martinez brother, I imagine, who plays for Man United. Nope, he's not. He's replaced by Pizzella, who I'm sure is a defender. Yeah, he's a centre back. So another Argentina just literally throwing as many defenders on as they can now. But corner comes in. France with a chance to get a shot on goal. I think we've got a penalty.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! What?
Is it a penalty or is it a free kick outside the area? It might be a free kick outside the area for handball. But
I'll lose my shit.
it's a penalty. It's a penalty.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me! God, are you serious?
It's Mbappe who got the ball from the corner on the edge of the box, and then it's
I can't, man. I can't.
Montiel of Argentina who's gone flying out, elbow up in the air. Ball comes off the elbow. One of those ones that's a very harsh, would have been given as handball years ago, but now with VAR, those handball decisions get made more and more. Is Mbappe going to do a Harry Kane?
Ian, don't react. Let me watch this one live. Okay, let me just watch this.
Okay,
don't tell me what happens.
Harry Kane missed his second penalty against France. What's Mbappe going to do? I'm not going to react.
Oh, babe, we might never make it. We might not even make it to the hockey game. All right, Mbappe lining it up. Little dancing there by the goalkeeper. We'll see. All right, come on, Mbappe. Just let's end it. Just miss this one. Come on. Here we go. To tie it up with about 3 minutes left in this game and ruin every chance of going to the casino. Oh, God, that was too fucking easy, man. That was too easy.
I know. And all
3-3. Are you kidding me?
Back to a quarterfinal and think about a ball that went flying over the top of the bar. And then I just think, why couldn't you have just done that, Harry?
This is mind-boggling. If Argentina loses this game and essentially the World Cup Final and a chance at Messi's glory, you have to be like, how could you not close out games? I mean, they've done this repeatedly.
Argentina come forward again and France shut the door on them and might start a counter-attack, but it's Argentina coming forward. No, this is going end to end now for the final 5 minutes, isn't it? Both sides counter-attacking again on each other, and Argentina with Messi charging forward up the pitch, and they've got about 3 players around him that finally managed to get the ball off him, but the ball's not completely away, and Argentina just keep coming forward, trying to win this game for the third time. Ball spins behind for a corner to Argentina. But yeah, it would be crazy if France went on to win this one. But 8 goals now in a World Cup for Mbappe. That is a huge number of goals. I know there's been 2 penalties today, but I don't think usually he gets up that.
Well, he's got a hat trick. He's got a hat trick today.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Sure. Yeah. The second hat trick of the tournament.
How embarrassing would it be if he does go to PKs and he misses the PK?
Yeah. Hat trick in a World Cup final. That is pretty special.
Yeah, sure. It really is. It really is.
That's, 2 World Cup finals he scored in now as well.
If you guys are just joining us, smash that like button if you could. This one is minutes away from going into a penalty shootout. As I think we're just 1 minute.
We are seconds away, but France are charging forward up the pitch, and Mbappe's got the ball out wide. Who knows what he can do? Good ball in. It's met by Turan and just bounces wide. Oh, that was almost went straight in from Mbappe. I don't think the striker touched it, but it was one of those ones where Martinez did not know where that ball was, and it just ended up spinning wide, and that might be the last action we see. Although there is 3 minutes added on in this one.
Yeah, 3 minutes. I was going to say there should be a couple minutes with that penalty.
Yeah, but this looks like it's going to be. Looks like we're going to get penalties. Hopefully, there'll be one more chance as Martinez throws away a deflated ball. What time's that Titans game on?
4:30.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, 9:30 your time.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, guys. Nick a goal. One time. You know what? It's not even because I want to go to the casino. It's really because I just hate. Like, I would have been all for Messi riding out onto the sun to the sunset with that one. I mean, that would just be an epic way to win your swan song. But
Yeah.
Argentina again gives up an awful chance with a penalty there. God damn.
Yeah, not many World Cups go to penalties. I can't think of. I can think of the World Cup. USA '94 went to penalties.
Is that Brazil?
Brazil beat Italy.
Yeah.
I think that might be the last one.
I don't know. I can't tell from that.
Or maybe Italy. I don't know. Maybe the one where Zidane got sent off for a headbutt. Did that go to penalties?
I thought Italy, France might have gone.
Yeah, that might have done. I'm thinking about it. Although Argentina have got one final chance, have they? Perhaps. No, it's saved by Lloris, but it was offside. And that offside flag really needed to go up. I know the rule is to keep your flag down, linesman, but you could have really saved a lot of heartache there. A lot of potential heart attacks by getting your flag up as soon as you saw that was offside, because you didn't need to play that on for 20 seconds and
oh no,
10 seconds, however long it was. But Hugo Lloris will restart play with a huge ball forward. We've only got about 30 seconds left of this one. It's headed back by Argentina, but it is with France, who punt a long ball forward. France are going to get a chance to win this, and it's a save by Emi Martinez. France had a golden chance to win it right at the end there. It didn't fall to Mbappe, so it was never going to go in, and maybe Argentina might be able to fashion one more chance. They come forward at the other end. Can he get a cross in? He does get a cross in, and that goes just wide. Both sides with chances right at the end of this game. That is a terrible header. Terrible header by Martinez. It's come off his shoulder.
I cannot believe France didn't put that ball in.
Oh, great save by Emi Martinez from the guy who scored in the semi-final, Kolo Muani, with a chance to win that for France. And then Martinez had a decent effort for Argentina as well, but he mistimed header. But that has got to be it now. That is going to be penalties, I would imagine. They are playing on. They might be able to get one more opportunity. It's in with France in midfield. Long raking ball out to Mbappe, who will get on the end of that. Can he do something special from here? Referee won't blow this up just yet. Mbappe into the penalty area with a chance. Oh, he just got it taken away from him at the end when he was just about to pull the trigger. Argentina just get a tackle on him. That was nearly the grandstand finish, but it is going to be penalty shootouts to end this World Cup in Qatar.
All right. There's going to be a couple minutes here before the penalties. I'm going to go get dressed for the casino and the hockey game because I'm going to have to bounce right after PKs are done. I want you guys in the chat to put what you think the PK score is going to be. Who's going to be the winner? Let us know in the chat. Appreciate it. Also, smash that like button. A lot of new people coming in. Thanks, guys. I'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break here. And, yeah, this is coming down to the PKs. Whew. All right. This is it. This is it, man. Marie says Argentina 4-3 in the chat. This is it. We're back. It's been a month-long journey, Ian. It's been a privilege, and it's all come down to what both of us love.
Yep. There's nothing we like more than penalty kicks. Messi and Lloris, two captains of the respective sides, doing a coin toss to see who goes first and which side they'll be taken. This is, I mean, not on a World Cup level, but on 2 years ago or a year ago, I was in this situation with England against Italy for a final on penalty shootouts, and I can tell you, not fun. Not fun.
Yeah, and we can look at this as observers, as we don't have any vested interest in this. But by the way, I was
just going to say, like, penalties are almost like when you're a neutral and you've got no dog in the fight. They are normally quite fun to watch, but when you're involved in it, they are excruciating.
I was just going to say, you know what? Mike's parlay actually has not hit yet. He had Argentina to lift the trophy. So that's unfortunate. Hopefully for him, Argentina can win. But who's going to be going first here? Argentina?
France going first. Got Mbappe stepping up to take his third spot kick. Kylian Mbappe does score. Keeper went the right way. Mbappe's penalty is good enough. 3 penalties for Mbappe.
By the way, we haven't talked about this because I didn't think it would cash when we were down 2-0, but we do have we do have investment on this. France, we need another win to cash our future bet.
That's just changed it. So, no messing around with the order of both of these sides. Nobody hiding their star players back to take the 5th and final penalty or late penalties. Top players up early doors, as you would expect. Mbappe scored his penalty. Messi taking the first penalty for Argentina up against Hugo Lloris. He scored one already today. What's he going to do from the spot? Is he going to tie this one up? Oh, wow, Matt, you're going to see this one. He does. He does. He's very casual, brilliantly casual. But I tell you what, that wasn't far away from that bowing wrong. And he's hit that so slowly, Lloris has nearly been able to dive back and save it, but it has gone in and it is tied at 1.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Very, very, and we saw that actually backfire with some, I believe, Japanese players earlier in this one.
Kolo Muani for France. Oh, it's saved! Emi Martinez is the first draw. Argentina draw first blood in the final. Martinez, who saved penalties in this tournament already, saves another one. It is the young man who scored the goal against Morocco, but missed that chance at the end of the game. Not a confidently hit penalty at all. And that is Argentina with the advantage early on.
I think that was Coman.
Oh, was it?
Kingsley. Yeah, it was Kingsley.
Oh, I'm terrible. Sorry.
I was going to say, you mess up Messi a lot. You don't know Messi. And I was going to tell you, is it because all us white people look the same, Ian?
That is Martinez for Argentina, and that is straight down the middle of the goal. Lloris dived, and that is 2-1 Argentina. I do mess him up a lot, and I'm going to put it down to getting old and my TV being far away, and so everybody looks like the same. I'm like squinting, and I do. I'm terrible at that, like getting the difference between the players. But so Argentina 2-1 up.
That was Dybala, by the way.
This one I do know.
You come for the watch party, but you stay for the laughs.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be the expert here. This one I do know. This is definitely Pele. This is Tuamani for France. He's put it wide.
Get out of here. Argentina's going to win this one, and Messi's going to get it. But it was a great game, Ian. It really was.
Yep. Turned into a great game, didn't it? I
Really
think it was
did.
a great final.
It really did.
It had everything you kind of want. Yeah. It definitely was an issue of who was going to take these penalties once it got beyond Mbappe, and we've seen two penalties. Not great. Certainly not good when you don't hit the target. Argentina with a chance to take a massive lead. They need Lloris to come up clutch here with a save.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, it's gone in. Argentina are on the hill. That is penalty scored by Paredes for Argentina.
So there it is.
But I tell you what,
or one make.
That is one Hugo Lloris should have saved. That isn't a good penalty. That isn't a great penalty. It's hit it hard, but he's not hit it in the corner. And Lloris will feel he should have got something on. He should have been able to keep that one out.
Yeah.
But France are in. France have to score. France have to score this one to stay even to keep their slim hopes alive.
Yeah, he had to have that. He has not dove. I think he's hesitant on his dives because he thinks they're going to go in the middle.
That's how you take a penalty. That is Kolo Muani. I already had him missing one earlier on, but he doesn't miss. He smashes it straight down the middle. Martinez dives. That France needed that one just to keep some hope, to keep some pressure on Argentina here. But Argentina only need to score one out of these remaining two penalties, and they've won the World Cup.
Do you like the down the middle? I don't know.
I think it's a safe tactic. If you hit it hard and down the middle, quite often a goalie will dive.
Yeah.
It's not, if you're unsure, it's sometimes a safe bet to do.
All right, so here we go.
This is it. Argentina to win it. Argentina do win it. Argentina have won the World Cup, baby.
Well, it was a good game. It was a great World Cup, and it's the swan song for Messi. You know what? Now I'm kind of disappointed he won.
Well, it's basically just turn off. If you're indifferent to Messi or anything like that, not that I am or anything like that, but you do get a bit sick of the loving for him. So you're going to have to basically turn off all social media and media for about a week.
Yeah.
Which I'll probably get it worse over here than you will over there. But
probably because
anyway, that rounds out the World Cup, and
it does.
You've got a social gathering to get off to, Matt. And once again, mate, thanks for having me on. I've enjoyed these streams a lot. It's been a great World Cup, and hopefully we'll maybe do something in the new year.
For sure. Thank you again, Ian. Appreciate it. Make sure you go to Ian OUFC. That's his YouTube channel. Does a fabulous job with everything soccer. That is going to wrap it up. It's been a fun month of soccer, a fun month of football, and a great World Cup. It does come to an end. Argentina gets the win 4-3 on penalties. And we will see you in 4 more years or on Monday Night Football.